All right. We should be live.
No, all right, here we go.
We should be live on the YouTubes.
Yeah, I'm tweeting it. Tweet is out.
I know. I see it loading here.
I can feel the power.
Get your stupid ad.
Live.
Install ad block on you.
People might be watching us.
Well, we had a problem the other night with the stream not going out to.
Oh yeah.
Subscribers.
Well, we don't really care if that happens on this.
Yeah.
Just because why not? I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, here's some people.
Yeah, we already got some people. It still says 0 watching now.
Now there's people chatting, unless they're just chatting and not watching. But hey, so we did this like a year and a half ago, right? We sort of did a stream of me rewiring my setup.
It was the day after the CRT RGB episode came out.
Really? Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, but a year and a half obviously is not enough for me to, be like, hey, I think I'm going to just like settle with this setup for a while, right?
Yeah.
If Coury has an echo, it's probably my fault.
Am I on 2 different sources of yours?
You are, but I didn't think that there would be a delay. Tell me if this sounds any better. I mean, the audio on this stream is not going to be great.
Yeah, it's impromptu. There's no real plan in place of how you're going to do this.
Did that help the echo, or I mean, the audio is going to be what it's going to be. It's not going to be amazing. Because my setup is in a bit of a state of disrepair.
Are we going to see that?
Yeah. Give me a moment.
Are we going to see that?
Right, the echo is worse now.
Worse?
Lots of echo.
Well,
Yeah, those shorts are a crime.
Okay, right now, you're only going to be able to hear the Skype people over my speakers. Tell me if that is better or worse.
Okay. Let's hear it. That's what we did the last time, though.
Is it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, people are saying it's better, it's nice.
It's nice.
Nice? Okay.
Much better.
All right.
Much better. Okay.
So
we sound good coming out.
If that's what y'all like.
Oh.
Right.
So
can you kind of run us through what you've done already? Because you had shown me some pictures and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So originally that long unit over toward the wall, that was normally in the centered under my TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I've moved it all the way to the wall. This table, which was under my window, is now in the middle, and that's going to host the Sega systems. Once I get...
Wait, the systems are going to be front and center?
Well, hold on. I knew you would comment on that. So here, let's go a little handheld here. Right now, Sega systems are front and center. Framemeister is also there. SCART's G-Comp underneath. But and this is my newish little tiny sound bar, which is what you're hearing people off of right now.
That thing underneath your TV, is that your sound bar? I thought that was like a late 90s ghetto blast.
The wireless subwoofer is tucked in there, and actually I'm not even sure if it's connected right now, but I'll fiddle with that later. But so the ultimate plan, what sort of led me to start reorganizing, at some point, I don't know how soon, but at some point I am going to get a 4K TV, and instead of being a sane person and removing this TV, I'm just going to put it right next to the other one. Which is also going to be right next to two PVMs.
Oh my lord.
So, ultimately what's going to happen, I'm going to move, my normal, whoops. Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
I lost the webcam fell out of the extension.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Can I salvage this without starting and stop?
We're still moving.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna have to start and stop the stream. Sorry. Well, I'll be back in just a few seconds.
But I kind of do this on
Okay, we should be back. I hope.
Guard, but I mean, this is how it normally is. It's just it looks more prominent because of the way I'm leaning into the camera, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because it seems a lot darker to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you can see it over here. My beard hair has a red tint to it.
Same here.
So does mine. I have a red beard too. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stupid red beards.
So do people get reconnected here?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. So once I get my 4K TV, I'm going to move the couch down about 17 inches. My main seat is the right seat. So I'm going to change my main seat to become, the right from this perspective anyway. My main seat will then become the left seat. I'll move it down a few inches to be centered to the 4K TV that will go on that wall. My side monitor, which is here, will then go to the other side. So I'll sit here, have a side monitor here, 4K TV here, and then third monitor, which is my current TV, over here. So I'm going to have this 3-monitor setup right here. A dual PVM setup over here. And so therefore the Nintendo and Sony consoles will once again be front and center. Sega to the side. I'll move the sound bar over to here in between the Sony consoles. I'll move the Genesis and Sega CD over to here, and I'll actually put the Master System out. So I'll have all the Sega consoles out here.
Is the Master System wider than the PC Engine with the CD unit?
Oh yeah.
It's significantly longer
easily.
I think the Master System, I guess, besides the Xbox One, is probably the widest system that I have.
Oh yeah, it's easily wider. Now over here,
what you need, Coury, is a Genesis 1 hooked up to a Sega CD 2. That's probably a lot wider.
Yeah. But I mean, we never want to have something like that.
I kind of like the Sega CD2. I didn't used to, but it's very reliable compared to the Model 1.
Exactly. That's very, very true. I mean, if I saw one for a good price, I would absolutely buy it.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty ugly.
I bought mine off of eBay, and it came with a note saying like, "Hey, I love GameSack." And it's like I didn't even know this person. Okay.
So I put my charging station over here. I know this sounds like really stupid, but hold on a second.
I mean,
I got this because I have this thing where I just really like charging docks. So this can hold 4 Joy-Cons.
What kind?
Mother of God.
I see.
So when they release some alternate Joy-Cons that are of colors or styles that I want, I'll do that. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a dock for the Pro controller, so I'm just going to have to get a short USB-C cable and plug it up somehow. It pains me. You have to understand, it pains me. These are my DualShock 3s back here, and DualShock 4s up here. It pains me that the Sony controllers and the Nintendo controllers are not in the same place, but it just wasn't working.
You know, I've got one of these Nintendo Joy-Con things. I've only used it to set up the system. I usually use the professional controller, which is for professionals. This is for amateurs.
You know,
the batteries in this die, and I'm never going to charge it again because I never plan on using it.
I have to say, I really like the Joy-Cons just like separately, like this, like holding them like just separate, not without the grip. Like I played almost all of Zelda like this. Like I like this.
Really?
Yeah, I really like the separate.
That feels like a Wii with a nunchuck attachment.
Which
I can't get used to that.
Which I always liked. I always really liked that. I like just like the hands being free, you know? And it's cool because like when you aim in Zelda, you just move the right one. So it's pretty cool.
Free this man's hands. Free them.
I love the Pro controller though. I pretty much.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I've been playing Mario Kart with it. But actually, I need to get a new DualShock 4 charger because the right one on this, I don't think it charges anymore. But I've got the Xbox consoles over here. Obviously, it's a bit of a longer run, but what are you gonna do? I've got, I've already resigned myself to. I'm just going to end up buying everything, aren't I? So I've got this spot reserved for the Scorpio, and hoping that it's enough room because I don't have anything that plays Xbox One games yet. Down here, I'm sort of putting some alternate consoles. I've got the NT Mini, the Genesis 2, and the SNES Mini, and they're all going through the Extron, or at least, those are going through right now. The Extron, I'm not finished hooking it up because Coury is stopping by here in a few weeks. He's going to be bringing me some BNC cables.
Yeah, I got 6 of them.
Yeah, so ultimately what's going to happen here for streams, particularly really for the streams that we do on the Backloggery, where me and Drumble sometimes do, we'll do a race, or we will, maybe just play 2 different games. And normally we do that, either through some complicated temporary setup, or, he'll just stream it to me and then I stream both of them. But we can do them here, and I'll put my, my main consoles over here, and then on the other monitor, we can play anything that the NT Mini can play, Genesis, Super Nintendo. We can race the same game using different systems on 2 different monitors, or we could just have our own CRT to stream this, to play the same source. So, and then underneath in the back, you can maybe kind of see on the back left is the OSSC. Got my mixer. The VCR is not really hooked up right now. And here, down here is.
Ooh, look at that interface unit. How beautiful.
Down here is the PC engine that Voultar just modded for me. Let's open that sucker up.
Show them the den.
There she is. So,
show us your kittens.
Show them that beautiful region switch too.
Let's get this out here.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, this on the side here is this region switch he added. Very easy to toggle, unlike the RF toggle, which you can't even reach. I believe forward is Japan and back is American. I've not actually tried American yet. I just tested one game so far. Then on the back, we've got a DIN on the back. for the output, which is very convenient. The output from the side just kind of takes up too much bulky space.
But the power comes out of the side anyways.
Yeah, but the SCART cable is like so big, and I don't want to have to like bend it too much so close to the joint.
Right.
So, but yeah, I love this thing. Like, I think this is like one of the coolest looking systems. So I'm really glad that I chose this, and I guess I chose it just assuming that like, oh, you know, people RGB mod anything PC Engine. I didn't even realize that this was like apparently like a bit of a difficult thing to do.
Just a little bit.
But thankfully, good old Voultar willing to take the challenge. So yeah,
it was a pretty, like, what was so hard about it?
Well, the thing about the thing about the IF unit, the interface Unitarian, is that there's not a lot of space in the casings to accommodate, you know, a lot of different positions for where you can put the DIN. That's why traditionally you see 80% of the time when people do RGB mod the system, they'll put the DIN on the side, because inside the case there's so much real estate there, you can just plug it in there and it's not going to obstruct anything. That's one challenge. So to put the DIN on the back, you have to accommodate it, and you have to relocate some capacitors oftentimes, and you have to kind of do some fun stuff to the board. But the biggest challenge with the IFU, in my opinion, is that the way that you have to, all the routing to do the mod properly, and to stay away from noisy sections of that little board and the interface unit, to keep coupling from occurring. That you just have to, it's really, to do it correctly and to do it well, it's a very particular process. And you know, it's...
You're never going to do it again.
No, it's great. I'll never use, I mean, I'll never use this board again to do that, ever, period. There's another board that I have that I'll use in the future, but using this bastard makes it very difficult. So I'll do it again in maybe like 6 years. That's all I have to say.
Next time you do a Doujin dance.
Yeah, next time I do a douche-in dance. We've been over this. I wish you'd get his name right. Douche-in dance. It's got a nice ring to it.
How many of those have you done? Have you done any more since mine?
Oh, dude, I've probably done 20 douche-in dance systems since then. Yeah, for sure. A lot.
Is it getting easier?
You know, it's just like anything. When you lose a loved one or something, they say time heals and things get easier. That's not true. That's not true. I'm in pain every day. I cry at night. My wife wanted to divorce me. Well, she still does. But anyways, that's all. No, it's, you know, they still come in quite consistently. I had to kind of take a break from them because they started to you know, consume too much time, which they do take a lot of time to redo properly. But you know, there's a lot of other things that I'd like to do, and a lot of other things people want help with. So I took a douche break, and I'll be getting back on that horse in the next couple of weeks probably to, you know, continue being a champion for the people.
And you're working on a Game Gear for me.
I'm working on a Game Gear for you. Yeah, we need to talk about that. We have some things we need to discuss about that Game Gear.
Looked at it yet?
I've not opened it up and looked at it. I turned it on and I tested it, and the screen is terrible on that thing. But they're terrible on all game gears.
Yeah. You think a recap would fix that?
No, that's just the nature of that liquid crystal panel. It's just, well, especially even like those after they age. Despite whatever recapping you do or anything like that, they're just going to get progressively worse and worse and worse. Yeah. Nothing you can do. But we can buy a junker off eBay and hope that it has a better screen. That's the great thing about Game Gears. You can go on eBay all day long and buy those for $10 or $11 shipped to your front door. So that's not a big deal. I mean, if you would like to put a new screen in it, but we need to discuss. Let's see here. Well, I mean, I don't know if this is the appropriate forum, Coury, to be talking about your where is, but. We need to be discussing where you want to put that tool right there. How you want to insert it into it.
Change the one that's on the bottom into a controller port, right?
That is correct. That is correct, and that's what we're going to do. But we need to really determine the placement of this unit. How intimate you want to be with it.
Well, somewhere on the top would probably be the best, because if this is going to be laying there, then I'm going to have the controller coming out of the bottom.
How about adjacent to the power input?
Yeah, that
You
works.
got power and you've got the multi. Okay, well we'll work on that. And
right
we'll
in the middle
also.
of the screen. Come on, Coury.
It just right in the. I mean, it sucks anyways. So
I mean, you're not going to use the screen. You don't want to use that. Just
You
use
kind of
the
confused
console
me.
now.
You confused me in life. You sent a when Mark, or I'm sorry, that's not his real name. His name is Jeffrey. When Jeff came down, he sent this. You sent this along with him as he transported this. This is a Den 8, mini Den 8. I thought that you wanted to put a mini Den 9 on there.
That's the cable I sent you. Right, I sent you a cable.
Oh, that's right. You sent me the cable. Yeah, you sent me the mini Den 8 cable. What did you? What did you do with that?
I was going to put on it at first.
Okay.
I can use the Genesis one. That would be way easier.
Okay, I forgot that Okay, that's right. I forgot that conversation. So we're still on to put the Genesis 2 connector on there.
Yeah, if that works, if you have that laying around.
I have it laying around. It's over here in my sock drawers. We can do it. We can do it for you. Yeah, that's no problem.
Have a RGB modded Game Gear?
Are you asking?
You.
No. Voultar and I talked about that, I believe, yesterday. I want to send Dave's in, but I think the caps need to be replaced too, completely. I don't know about the screen. I'm sure it's crap. I don't really care. I don't know if he cares. But yeah, we need to get that thing RGB modded so we can start, properly showing Game Gear stuff on the show.
That would be. It's certainly not one of my favorite systems.
No, but it has a few games that they're pretty cool. Like I want to play through that Phantasy Star Gaiden, or what is it called?
Yeah.
There's like a translated version of that. I want to play through that.
I didn't know there was a translation of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's two of them, I think. There's like Phantasy Star Gaiden and like Phantasy Star Adventure or something like that.
I don't remember. I'm not the biggest Game Gear aficionado. I've never even owned one. So
yeah. I haven't either until I got this one. I got this one that Voultar is doing from Bob from Retro RGB, because he sent me a bunch of Game Gears to do an episode, to do the Game Gear RGB episode. I've had him for like a year and a half. I haven't done it. But he sent a whole bunch of different ones, and he has sent like a blue one, which I'm sure is probably Japanese only.
That is the nicer looking one.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any kind of mod at all to it. But he says I could buy the one that Voultar is working on for $50.
Oh, nice.
But
it's a good deal.
It's going to be worth more after Voultar works on it.
That's right. $6 billion plus tax.
So, Troy, are you just what are you hooking up with now?
I'm trying to sort of organize the brick power supplies for NES, Famicom Disk System, and Super Nintendo.
I get those little extenders. So you don't have to put them up against the power strip. It's just like it's like a little extension. It's like
so you don't have to put the brick in.
Probably.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, but the monoprice power supplies or surge protectors I'm using, they've got on the four corners, they've got a large amount of separation, so that there's room around without blocking anything.
I see you're using Velcro ties as well.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
Did you do that before?
Yeah. I mean, my cable management skills leave a little bit to be desired, for sure. It is a skill, I think. It's something that I at some point I'm always just like, it's good enough.
That's my problem.
It's really hard with consumer type cables because each cable is a different thickness, a different length, and stuff like that. When you're in a professional environment where all the cables are the exact same, it's a lot easier.
And two, when you're when you're going across a long space like this, you've got cables just jutting out all along, and power cables going this way and video cables going that way, and it's just
You're putting all the power cables together, put all the video cables together.
I mean, more or less. I've never experienced any problems here. Caused by power cables crossing over video cables. But I've kind of got it planned out to where there's like a clear route directly to the G-SCARTs that I'm going to sort of route all the SCARTs down. Also, I had a super long run for the Ultra HDMI before, and I don't know if I've got another cable that'll be shorter. It's got the mini HDMI on the other end. I might have to buy a shorter one because I am not running like this super long cable, and now it's going to have to only go like 10 feet. This is like probably like 25 feet. I'm trying to avoid where I can. I mean, I'm not going to buy any crazy expensive cables or anything, but if I can buy a cable or two to make it so I don't have like this excessive amount of slack, like I just don't want a huge amount of slack, you know?
Yeah. What game's in your NES? Is that still Shadow of the Ninja?
It is still Shadow of the Ninja. I haven't finished it yet. I was thinking I might, in a day or two, try to finish it up and then maybe put the run on the B-roll channel.
Oh, right. We've collected that recently.
You know what I think the most optimal solution is? Well, it's not necessarily easy for everybody, but what I think, especially in cases like this where you have, a dozen or so consoles that use, low voltage DC output, you buy a really nice, 9 or 10 volt UL certified power supply. And then from that nice, like a 10 volt power supply that's like a 4 amp power supply, right? And you take that little joule, and from that little joule, you run you hand wire all of your leads from it for the Super Nintendo, to the Sega Genesis and all of its live support systems, to the TurboGrafx, to everything that you have, minus, like your Xboxes and PS2s. And that way you have one power supply consolidated for 8 or 9 different systems. That's what I believe in America.
You lost me when you said hand wire.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said hand wire.
Yeah, is that what the Retro DC is kind of like?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Only I would take it. Well, I have taken it a few steps further than that. Yeah, basically, that's what I'm talking about in life, because there's nothing worse than having. Well, it's horrible to, this is the 21st century, and people are, they're consuming. They are. This poor power strip is just getting it every way, every which way from Sunday, with 4 billion different wall warts for 4 billion different systems. What if we could just, get rid of all that and just use 1 or 2 of those, 120 mains plugs?
What would happen if you turn on several at one time? Would it just not work, or would it wouldn't blow it out or anything, would it?
Well, no. I mean, that comes to a couple of things. If the power supply is designed to handle the amp load of all those systems. So let's say like the Super Nintendo draws 700 milliamps, and an NES draws 700 milliamps, and the Sega with all of its stuff draws 1.8 milliamps. Okay, that's around whatever. So if you have a power supply that's rated at 4, 5, or 6 amps, you're going to put a load on that power supply, but it certainly isn't going to damage anything, and it certainly isn't going to have any ill effect.
If I recall, was it PSP or PS2 Slim power supplies that you said is like the best thing ever made?
The PS2, the official Sony PlayStation 2 power supply for a lot of things is king. It is an excellent performing power supply with very low little ripple when you put a good load on it. I mean, it's a stellar performer, and I use that. Oh gosh, I used to butcher those things up because they were a dime a dozen, and I would use those things for a multitude for multiple different consoles to power them simultaneously. Fantastic system, fantastic power supply. But there's much better out there. You can get really nice. You can get a really nice power supply for a lot of this low DC voltage hardware that everyone loves. That'll work with it for $15 or $20, and then if you have your own leads, or you have someone that can make your own leads for it, I mean, you can have a really nice power supply to do just about everything at once, and you're using one wall wart. That's just one.
Mhm.
That's one.
That'd be nice. I have 3 underneath my entertainment center, and 2 off to the side.
Yeah.
I don't think the PS2 has a wall wart, does it? I mean, I think that's one of the things where it's just like right in the middle of the cable.
Well, that's right. It's inline.
The
It has
slim.
it's got a it's got a 110. You've got your 110 mains cable, and then actually, it's just a regular cable that plugs in the wall, but then the cable will plug into a DC power supply or an AC adapter.
Okay, the
Slim. He's talking about the Slim.
right, the
Yeah.
7000s.
Something that could confuse something that's confused me a lot lately is I hear a lot of people complain like, oh gosh, Xbox 360, Xbox One, they have these gigantic power bricks, and to me, I'm thinking, I mean, I'm no expert on electronics design, but to me, I'm thinking, what's the big deal over internal power sources? Because to me, I would think anything that's going to generate more heat, why not take that outside the console?
Well, that was exactly why, and that's exactly why they did, because of the heat. When you have a
But people always praise it. People are always like, yes, thank goodness, internal power supply, no more power brick. I'm thinking, power brick is not that big of a deal.
It isn't. It really isn't. And that's just, you know what I think that is? I don't know. I don't even want to get into that because you'll get me crying on camera again. You really will.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that it's. I don't mind them. They're just like so hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, what I just want to know like how they engineered their system, because like the PlayStation 4, it doesn't have anything like that. It's all internal. The Xbox One is bigger, yet it still needs this giant brick outside. I mean, it's not small. It's huge.
I think there's a lot of empty space in the Xbox One. Obviously, I don't think it, from what I've read, I don't think it gets as hot as the PS4.
I don't know.
I never hear a fan inside the Xbox One. Now, in my PS4, the fan isn't very loud either.
No.
A lot of people say that theirs is really loud.
My PS3 gets kind of loud sometimes, and the fan keeps going even after I shut it off until I unplug it.
Do you have which model do you have? Do you have the...
Oh, I have a fatty and a slim, but I'm basically talking about the slim.
Okay.
The fan will slightly keep going when it's still off, or right when you turn it off anyway, for a little while until it cools completely down.
Mm-hmm.
That PS3 probably won't live much longer, Joe. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, the fat?
No, the Slim he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about the slim.
Does this bother anyone here? Can you hear that?
No.
I hear somebody with like a Burger King wrapper. I'm hungry.
Oh,
that.
That's more like a Wendy's wrapper to me.
That's my Genesis power supply. I mean, it's never given me any problems, but it's always had this rattle.
Does it buzz when you plug it in?
No.
How about spark? Does it spark?
No, not to my knowledge.
The little plastic retaining clip that holds the prongs in place, it has been compromised and it has snapped, and that's what you're hearing in there. That's what it always is with that.
So nothing worrying, huh?
I mean, I would take it apart and remove the plastic, but nothing that's going to, compromise your home or your secret installation.
I mean, it looks like, actually, it's a little loose. Is this what? Is that an Allen wrencher?
It depends on the model.
I think some of you just take a flathead screwdriver and spin. Oh.
Some of you take a flat, but you actually might need a deep well 6mm. Yeah, you'll need a. Well, you could probably use a secure a 3.8 or a 4.3 millimeter bit for that.
Oh, the game bit.
Yep.
Let me see if I can dig it up. Right up.
Doing it live, if you can.
Just like what was his name, Bill O'Reilly?
Mm-hmm.
He did it live.
It's not doing anything live anymore.
Yeah, he saw what happened to him.
You know, Joe, we keep on having this guy commenting on our channel, and his name is David White. I keep on
Poor
thinking
bastard.
every time I see it, I'm like, wait.
Don't write it. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
Freaking thing sucks.
That's not exactly.
Where did
Well,
where
I'm
to
trying
put
to keep
it?
it PG. 13. Is that a 1602 try, by the way?
A what?
Adapter? Is that a 1602?
Uh,
Right under Sega. Does it say
it
1602?
is 1602.
Okay. Yeah. That should handle it then.
Try.
Yeah.
Does your Genesis 2 have a mega amp in it?
It's unmodded.
That's a no.
That's the sound thing, as far as I know, right?
I'm telling you what. If you don't have a VA3 or a VA4 Model 2 Genesis,
An actual
you know,
screwdriver.
Ace, you know, he's a Sega legend as far as I'm concerned. He designed an excellent sound mod for all the Model 2s. Well, you can use them in the Model 1s too. It's not really necessary, but the Sega Mega Amp is a champion. It's a champion
is.
for all of us.
I have I have no idea what mine even is, but I mean, I got it. It's like, it has the expansion port on there.
They all have the expansion port.
Oh, I thought they removed the
The
EX.
Sega CD?
No, the one in the back.
Are you talking about Model 1?
You're talking
Yeah.
about the serial. You're talking about the D sub.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's for the modem? Yeah.
But I mean, I got mine. It was like Christmas of '89, so it was like launch window.
Well, most of the Model 1s, except for the VA7, sound generally okay. Mine's a VA2, and it needed some, like the Konami logo would distort, and things that got loud would distort, so it needed a little bit of work.
Mhm.
And we got that working, thanks to Ace, and stuff like that. But most Model 1s sound fairly good.
I just want to say something real quick to try. When you take the final, be careful. Don't pull too hard, because where the metal prongs flit through the plastic. Yeah. You have to.
You already have done it by the time that you're seeing it.
I know. I'm just trying. Listen.
The top ones are like screwed up anyway. Like I don't know if you can see.
You would have to.
It looks
Yeah, I
like
need you.
the top ones are. The thing was already loose anyway. It's not
Let
really
me see the
focusing
plastic.
super
Okay.
great, but
Yeah, see the plastic that hold the prongs in there. Did you see a broken piece? Did a broken tab come out?
Look
Shake
on
it
the
around.
floor, see a piece of black something.
yeah, it was this.
What is this? There's a delay. I don't know what's going on.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
now, you need to eat that. It's delicious.
It's the only way to make it work.
But look. Wait, is there?
That's what it
No,
always
yeah,
is. Just
that
throw it
was
away or put it.
You gotta crunch it up and snort it.
But I
Keep it
think
as safe in the air.
there's a chip off of my Zelda 1 cartridge, and I've got it in like this little box. I've never been able to get rid of it. I've got this little gold chip sitting in a little box.
I have a problem like not throwing stuff away like that. You should see my garage. Well, you have seen my garage, so you know.
I have seen
You
your
don't-
garage. You've got a 32-inch RGB modded CRT in there that you tried to talk me into taking.
I don't know how many times we go through this Trifarce. It was a 35-inch Sony Trinitron. It's not a 32. You should have taken it with you. I would have helped you load it up. I'm disappointed that you didn't.
I got rid of a 36-inch. If that, I would have considered a 32-incher, and I would definitely would have taken a 27.
I don't know what to do. It's actually, you know what? I gave it to a friend of mine. He's putting it to good use. So
Oh, really?
unfortunately,
It
Yep,
did
give
get
it
out
to
of
a
your
good friend.
hands. You know, you've
Yes,
got
thank
a partial Super C cabinet in there.
oh, it's complete.
Oh, okay.
I
It
just need
looked
to-
partial from a distance.
Oh no, it's complete. I just have to. I just need to go over the monitor electronics, but it's all there. It's working. It's good. I like to play Super
How
C.
hard was it to do that? Because I have an extra CRT here.
I need the make and model. If you can give me the make and model, I can
Yeah.
tell you about 10 minutes or 20 seconds or 5 hours.
1 second.
This is very. I tell you what I like about this. The whole. I wish I would have done this. I like your furniture. I think more than I like my furniture. I like the cubby holes. I really like that.
I mean, it's just IKEA. It's not exactly anything.
Right. But it's just,
Anything crazy or very original, but I have this obsession with keeping my systems in chronological order within console manufacturer. Although I guess you could argue that my Famicom and NES are reversed, and I guess I can just maybe I'll do that right now. See how I feel about it.
So where the high def that I put in there, or the high def kit that I installed for your front loader, where are you putting that sucker since you've got a top loader there?
That's going to go upstairs.
Oh, I see.
And then I'm gonna, because I've got a setup that I can like shoot stuff off screen up there, and then I'll be able to easily bring it down here if I need to use it for something like that. But this is still going to be like my main NES Famicom setup.
Okay.
But we're, we really needed the high def NES just to have it to make comparisons for the show and stuff.
Right.
I don't intend for that necessarily to be my main way to play NES, but it's definitely convenient to have, and we've just run into so many issues because it's like, I have to use the old Contra footage that I recorded like 2 years ago because that's all I've got, But now I can get new high def NES footage anytime I want.
Right. We've been using the same footage for like a year.
Yeah, and we keep going back to it. Like at the time, we didn't think we needed one in house, but we kind of do.
Even that, maybe I wrote it down wrong. Hang on, let me.
Yeah, I want you to check it
I
again.
don't know who actually makes that TV, Coury. I know Toshiba is just the one who sells it. I can't remember who's the actual manufacturer. I used to know.
Oh, really? Toshiba didn't make the Toshibas toward the end of the...
No. I can't remember. It's like Sansui. I don't know if it's Sansui or who it is. But it's some other brand in Toshiba. That's just their version of it.
I mean, I like those TVs. I think they have a pretty good look to them.
841. This is the not flat screen. It's the bubble screen. I'm kind of back and forth of whether or not behind me. I don't know if you can see it. I have my CRT back there.
That's your 27-incher, right?
Yeah, it's 27. But this one also is. But it's a bubble screen. This one, the geometry is really, really bad on it because it's a flat screen. But I like how it looks more than the other one.
Right.
So I kind of go back and forth.
I don't like the flat screens because they came out when the flat screen. It was kind of to curb. The interest in flat panel technology in the early mid-millennium. They employed a lot of digital technology to calculate, sort of correct a lot of the geometry issues that you get when you have an electron gun scanning across a flat piece of glass. And it just never worked, and it never will work. And regardless of how much time you spend trying to get that geometry and moving that yoke around and trying to be a champion in life, to me, in my opinion, it'll always be subpar. So I don't even fool with the flat screen stuff. I used to, or I do for other people who, want me to fix that stuff for them.
I was really, really into that. Like a flat CRT just was like the holy grail for a long time for me. Like back in the CRT days.
Right.
But it's just, I kind of agree with you. I like them, but I've kind of come back around to liking just a little bit of that curve.
Yeah, I like the curve.
I mean,
the curve likes me.
I mean, ideally, I wouldn't prefer it, but it's just that it works better for the technology.
Right. That's right.
I mean, I have a smaller version of the flat screen. I think it's the same one that, Joe, that's the same one you have, right? The smaller Toshiba?
Yeah.
And I think that one looks really, really great.
Yeah,
right?
when you get bigger onto those CRT flat screens, the worse and worse they get.
Yeah. I mean, this one is definitely pretty bad, but I think it's good for me to have it because then I can really show how bad it can get, I guess.
Can somebody do me a favor?
Hmm?
I'm going to read this out real quick. It's going to take 6 seconds, and I need somebody to record it, so I'll have it in a second. Are you ready?
You want to record it?
I want someone just to write this down because I can't write it down in this program that I'm using, and it's for your television. It's just it's 6 numbers. It's a few letters. Okay, it's TB, the numbers 1253 in November. That's all I need. All right. This is for your beautiful television.
See, the one I'm giving you is the one that's not the flat screen. It's a bubble screen.
Okay.
I'm undecided if I want to keep it, and if I did this to it, I might feel like I want to keep it.
Like, what do you mean by when you say bubble screen? Is it just like a slight curve, kind of like a PDF?
Yeah.
Or is it curve in all directions? Because I know like some of those old RCAs are like really bad. They're like a goddamn sphere. It's really awful.
No, this is just like horizontal.
Oh, okay. Those aren't bad.
I mean, I had it for a long time before I got this one. You know, I got them both at Goodwill. I mean, this one, I think, I got it long enough ago that it was $12. Now they're like, they don't even carry them anymore.
Can you shoot that number to me? I'm so sorry to interrupt your
I
conversation.
pasted it, yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's a TB1253M. N as in November.
Thank you for the clarification.
Right, are you talking right now? Because we don't hear you.
No.
Are you just showing?
No.
You're saying, hey, that's
You all are making the color commentary for this stream. I'm just working.
He's just showing.
You see, I gotta have this chronological order here. Gotta have it.
So,
Nintendo, Sony, and then I've got Sega over there, and I've got Xbox over there. Just gotta have it. It's gotta be that way. Which is why it was very hard to come up with how this setup should be set up, and still managed to keep that. I was not willing to sacrifice it.
You store your games in chronological order too?
They are.
I can tell them. They're in alphabetical order, but the way they're on the shelves are in chronological order.
They're chronological order by system release. So up top you've got Famicom Disk System, NES, and then down there I'm a little conflicted on this one. I put PC Engine before Master System and before Genesis. I think TurboGrafx' release date in the U.S. is maybe like a couple days after Genesis.
No, actually, I think it came out before. I'm not 100% certain on that. I think it did come out before.
I forget, but I was a little conflicted about where to put PC Engine. But since I have a PC Engine system and not TurboGrafx, I decided to put it in the PC Engine release order. And then I've got Master System, Genesis. Like Super Famicom, I have on the front end of the Super Nintendo stuff, but like systems where the cartridges and boxes match, like for example, like any PS3 or PS4 imports, N64 cartridge imports, I just mix those in the same alphabetical order as the American carts, but like the Super Famicom carts look different, so I put them on the front end. So then I've just got my 5 Saturn games stacked vertically there. I've got a PlayStation
You're
N64.
going to run into problems when you eventually get more of them. If you get more.
Yeah, I mean they're so expensive. I mean, part of me, I went with the disc only approach for Sega CD kind of accidentally, just because I got that one free game. But Joe sent me his template that he uses to make Sega CD.
I think I sent that to you. You sent it to me and I sent it to you.
I can't remember.
Sharing my wares.
No, I'm pretty sure I got it from Joe directly. But I haven't done anything with it yet. But like, if I do finally get around to that, I could see myself maybe doing the same thing for Saturn. Because I mean, let's be realistic. If I'm going to get more Saturn games at this point, Like, saving money by getting disc only might be the only way to go.
Or you could pay that one company like $60 for a reprint, which I think is ridiculous. Have you seen people doing that now? Like a Chinese press company that actually has a CD printing press. They're making games. They're totally copying these games, and they're using a real CD press, and they're selling these pirates for $30, $40, $50.
But they still won't play without a mod chip.
No, they're pressed discs, so they will play without a mod chip. They will absolutely play. Yes.
But I wonder if they will play well, because I remember when Pure Solar came out, those discs had a lot of trouble playing.
Well,
And Watermelon was blaming the CD pressing plants. And, well, he just basically said that you can't press discs that'll play on this machine anymore, which I don't believe is true, but that's what he blamed it on.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. That's ridiculous.
I
But
thought that was a cop-out myself.
I can't. I don't know. I'm sorry. I was going to post that. Here you go, Coury. There you go. That's for you. I made that. I just drawed all that out for you. But no, I mean, but yeah, that's very possible. I mean, you know, based on the quality of the press, those might play like crap, and then it's really a problem. I've seen a lot of PC Engine games, and I don't even think they are. I don't even think they are using a press, but like these, or maybe they are. You know, like the collections, like you can get like the 5-box set that has like
PCE Works stuff.
Is
By PCE Works.
maybe is it PCE Works?
Yeah.
Is that one of the people that do that? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, man. I just don't know how I feel about that.
I did a couple of videos on them.
Oh, okay. I'll be quiet. Forgive me. Oh God.
We didn't understand the extent of the controversy at the time.
Yeah, it's a bit of controversy. Especially on their kind of second release that they did, or third release, I think it was.
I don't know if it was them or not, but I saw a reprinting company spinning up copies of Rondo for like $60 or $70. Okay, well I'm sorry. You know, I know that these games, they're in that secondary market now, so the publisher really isn't making any money, but you're skewing and you're diluting that secondary market, and that can be a good thing and it could be a bad thing, but I just don't know how I feel about that. I would really have to compose my thoughts to really come out with a concise opinion, but that's all I'm going to say. I'll be quiet now. I don't want to offend anybody here. I really don't give a shit if I do. I'm just saying. I really don't.
I like it when they use like standard sized cases stuff. Like they generally look pretty good. But for a while there, they're using these like special edition stuff that I don't know. Joe and I have talked about this, and Troy and I talk about this a lot about how we hate when like special editions and stuff are just like weird sizes compared to like everything else.
Yeah.
On the system.
Thankfully, like PS4 steelbooks have gotten really good, where they fit
the same side.
Yeah, they fit in.
Right.
Like they look different, but they look special without looking like obnoxious and out of place.
Yeah.
Like last generation, I didn't like them.
19 game, that steelbook that I got just because it was low price, not because it was steelbook. But it looks pretty good on the shelf. I still haven't played it, but I'll get around to it someday. But yeah. I like that it's normal sized.
Yeah, I mean, I think Troy has a rule where he only gets like a special edition if it has a full soundtrack in it, or something.
I mean, I broke that rule. I broke that rule with Persona 5, but I mean, it was, and the soundtrack is really not that good.
The Amazon,
because it's like the soundtrack covers like the first like 3 hours of the game. But I got
very limited soundtrack. The full soundtrack is actually 3 discs for Persona.
Yeah,
5.
I got it.
Oh, I know you do. I wonder where you got it.
But I mean, I just kind of stopped buying the limited editions because I was putting them along the top of my shelves, but I just got sick of stacking them, essentially.
I think the last special edition game I think
Nice.
the last one that I bought was the HD, the Metal Gear Solid HD limited collector's edition for the PS3. That's the last thing, last one.
Oh, for 4, or 5. You mean the one with the hand, right?
No, I'm talking before that. I'm talking about the what do they call it? It's where they did the HD remaster for Snake Eater. You had the Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 2. Yes. I bought the special edition of that, which came with a nice art book. But that's the last special edition.
That's regular size. It's really only inside of a regular sized PS3 case, and it's like in a sleeve, and it has an art book. It's. I think
you're thinking. I don't know. Maybe we're talking about two different things. This is what I'm talking about right here. I mean, that's a book.
No, that's different than I was thinking. I'll show you what
I'm searching for the cable that I was wanting to plug into my PS1, and I'd already plugged it in.
I didn't know. Did they make another one of these or a different version of this?
I'm not sure.
Corey's in another room. He can't answer you right now.
He can't, and he will.
It's this one.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that is.
It just like has a regular size case in it, but also has like an art book in there.
Oh, okay.
And this includes everything. This has it came with a download code for Metal Gear Solid 1 and VR missions, but it also has like the collection, the HD collection on one.
Corey, was the download code just for like literally the PlayStation version, or was it enhanced in any way?
No, it's just the PS6. But the reason I really got this is because the version of Metal Gear Solid 4 on here is completely patched. They added that patch that made it so you can install all the chapters at one time.
And trophy support too, right? Was that the one that did? Oh yeah.
Right, and that you could. That's why I bought it, because it has that.
Oh yeah.
Patch on.
That's cool. That's very cool.
I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna have enough spaces.
Enough cord, enough length.
No, I don't think I'm gonna have enough surge protector spots on this end of the room.
Ah, yes, of course.
So you just got to decide which system is worthy of getting surged.
Oh no, nothing.
It's Survivor.
Everything is going to be plugged in. Everything must be plugged in at all times.
And that's fine. They just won't all have surge protection, so it's just like which one gets the short straw.
Well, I've got an old surge protector I could probably put here, but I don't know how good it is. I might have to end up getting another.
I suggest the Nintendo 64 doesn't deserve surge protection.
Hey, now.
Totally agree with that.
The N64 is my least favorite system I own.
Matter of fact, I don't think the Nintendo 64 deserves a place on your shelf there. But
Hey.
Try the huge 64.
I know.
I feel like my love of the N64 is overcompensated to some extent, just to fight back against the people who don't appreciate it.
I don't know. I
Well,
think
it's
that
just
you were
close
the right
to the
age
floor
for
where it belongs.
It came out.
You've got maybe, in my opinion, you've got 6 real flagship games that carry it, that are a real vehicle for the Nintendo 64. But for the most part, the library is really subpar. I'm sorry, man.
I mean, there's a lot of interesting things on it that people don't really think about.
Like Yoshi's Story. I get it. I got it. I know.
Okay, no one likes Yoshi's Story.
I mean, so 3 of those must have games like Mario 64, which I don't really like that much, honestly.
Oh God, that even hurts me.
Mario.
I didn't play it until a long time after it came out.
Like, I just cannot even begin. Like, I cannot get my. I know some people say, "Oh, Mario 64 didn't age that well." I cannot get my brain in a mindset where I can even begin to appreciate or understand or accept that is a valid point of view. Mario 64
really like Mario 64.
It's a perfect game.
Well, I don't know about perfect, but it's really, really damn good.
No game, no 3D game has had controls that are as unafraid to just let you do whatever the heck you want. Like the freedom of movement you have in that game, I feel like most 3D action games like restrain what you can do to a greater extent. Like Mario 64 is like, oh, you could probably glitch your way up there, but who cares?
Evidently, somebody hasn't played Fighting Force for the Nintendo 64.
I have not.
It's a rich game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was. It was initially supposed to be Streets of Rage 4, but they just, Sega didn't like it. Sega didn't like what they were seeing.
I wonder why.
Hey, man, I love Streets of Rage for
Amazing.
the PS.
But it came out and did.
Fighting Force.
It had a sequel that was nothing like it, like the original.
Oh, yeah, it was single player only, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a third-person shooter or something.
Yeah, I think I had that for Dreamcast. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I just want to tell you, I just looked at all the schematics for your TV. It's fully, that's easy. That can be RGB modded.
Will I lose component functionality?
Nope.
Really? But does it just replace an input, or do they just both go to the same?
It doesn't replace anything. What happens is you can if you look at the picture that I sent you that I annotated, if you tie that pin high with 5 volts, that will blank the screen. It'll cancel out all the other input. It's basically another input that your TV is not using that you don't even know about. But if you put a little voltage and tie that pin high, that will enable the RGB output. So then there you go. I mean, welcome to the races.
How hard is it to even do the mod though? I mean to like do the case and everything like that, like the back end.
I tell you, a man of my age, I could probably do that in about 25, maybe 30 minutes, maybe.
Well,
just put a little switch on the back of it that I could automate it to where if you press like a button, like the OSD button or something, I can have it to where when that OSD line goes high, it can bias like a transistor that will enable the RGB output mode, or I can just put a really quick, simple switch that you can flip on the back of it to enable RGB and then to disable RGB with a SCART connector right next to it.
Well, now all I need to do is decide whether or not I want to haul that thing down 3 flights of stairs. Bring it.
If it has component.
I mean, think about this, Coury. It'd be good for the geometry episode.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it plays into that much. But...
Just all the insides.
Oh my God, I want to throw up. Not with you. I'm sorry. Oh God. Calibrating. Oh man, I'm having nightmares again. When I used to have to sit at my grandfather's shop and calibrate Zenith televisions, and I would only get to eat a piece of peanut butter on a piece of bread. Oh, you're bringing back the nightmares. Oh man, all those years spent listening to Barry Manilow.
Well, I think that maybe I'll bring it. I'm already bringing you so much when I come and visit, anyways.
Yeah, I mean you are. I mean it's whatever you want to do. I mean if you want to, you might be staying the night, man. If you want me to do all this stuff in one day.
Well, I don't know if I won't make you do everything. I'll leave. But I mean, you're only 2.5 hours. I mean, it's like a day trip. I could come back like the next week.
Is it 2? I thought it was less than that. Is it that? Just 2?
It's 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Try. How long did it take you?
Yeah, 2.5 sounds right.
Okay. Okay, that's not too far.
It's like to the southwest.
It should be the southeast to you.
Oh.
You're in Newport, right? Like right there? Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but yeah, so I would be here. You're here, I'm here.
Okay.
And then together we can be here as one.
Yeah. We probably don't want to meet up on this one. I don't even know where we meet up. What would be like the halfway point?
Definitely, come on.
Maybe Richmond or Lexington, Kentucky?
Oh yeah. I've never been to Lexington. I only went to Louisville for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think Well, you're a lot closer to Louisville than anything, aren't you?
Yeah, we went to the Bullet Bourbon Distillery.
Okay. Yeah, I think Richmond or Lexington would probably be the halfway point for sure.
Okay.
Right in the middle. I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably. Because I guess I'm about maybe an hour and maybe 15 minutes from a little over an hour between here and Lexington. So maybe it's close to that. It's really close to that.
Okay.
Joe lives in my basement, so he's here all the time.
You say you
live on that chair back there.
You can live it. Somebody's been living on it a little too hard.
Indeed.
What's going on back there? You were going to say something, Coury? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't.
You weren't going to say anything. Okay.
Look, it's another power supply that I bought not that long ago, or surge protector, or whatever. It's probably fine.
You're adding another one?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a plug back there. I'm probably going to need it.
I use one that has a lot more than that on it. I think it has.
Oh yeah, I mean this is.
12, I think.
This is. I mean, I bought it not too long ago, so I assume it's good. I don't know. Is there such a thing as really a bad surge protector? I mean.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how to identify.
Well, I mean, there's no real.
Well, certified, right? That's like the main thing, probably.
That's number one.
I mean, this is by Trip Light.
Does it have a UL certified sticker on it? It's like a kind of a hologram type thingy.
Yeah.
It's probably okay.
2013.
See,
amount of CRTs. I think that maybe we'll see. I think that would be a fun thing to do.
Sure. I have a.
Voultar's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. No, though, on the Shmups forum, I have I put a lot of information out there on and a lot of data and write-ups on how to identify and do that, and how to look at the data sheets and read the data sheets for the sets, and so it's kind of become a thing actually to do that.
Really.
I don't recommend everybody do it. I mean, I don't recommend the layman to open up a high voltage CRT and start poking around in there with their tongue or anything. But it's
high voltage screaming action.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's becoming it sort of started to be something in life, something beautiful. I was going to say, all this talk of power strips, if you're one of those people like me who don't want to keep everything powered all the time, I have 2 Belkin power strips.
With the wireless flipper thing.
And that's right. They work off of this, because I got them both programmed to the same frequency. So obviously when I press this little button, everything goes on, and when I press this little jewel right here, it turns everything off.
Now, I was wondering about that after you showed me those. Because it made me think, when you turn it off, then how does it have surge protection?
Well, it's a mechanical connection in there. So what happens is when you press that off button, it literally disconnects the power from the here's the power coming out of the wall. Here's the power coming into the power strip. When you press that switch electrically, it literally disconnects the power strip from the main supply.
Okay, I did not realize that was a mechanical doohickey.
That's actually good.
Yeah. Yep.
And that goes in the outlet?
No, it's built into the power strip. The part that's responsible for the part in the power strip that powers the RF, it's on. This is the side with all of your plugs, right? This is the side that comes off the wall. Well, the wireless radio is on this side. So even though you kill power from all of your outlets, you still have the radio being powered off of the wall. It's kind of hard to explain, but it works beautifully. It's a beautiful natural thing.
And you don't need a surge protector because it's not connected to anything at that point. Like once it's separate, if it's turned off.
Well, wait. If you're doing that wirelessly, how does it? How can it do the mechanical switch?
Okay. I'll try to explain this again. I think I'm confusing myself and perhaps you. So, in the power strip, in these Belkin power strips, what you have is you have a power strip. It looks like a normal power strip, right? Okay, inside it's just relays. It's just a series of relays, mechanical relays. Okay, this is what the relay looks like when it's connected. Okay, this is all your outlets, and this is the power coming from the wall. This is all in the surge protector. Okay, so on this side that's always powered, you have the wireless radio and the logic to make this thing work, right? So when you press the off button, basically inside the power strip, it removes power from all of the outlets. So this disconnects. So your wireless stuff still works because it's always connected, but all the outlets on your power strip, they're no longer connected. So
how much did those cost, and do they come with the wireless remote?
Oh yeah, I think when I bought these a couple of years ago, I think I bought them they were new stock off eBay. I think maybe $26 a piece.
How many outlets?
That's pretty cheap for
12 outlets. It's rated up to, I think, 4,000 joules. If the power strip, if you keep it on, of course, there is brownout protection, and it had a pretty good rating.
Explain the joules thing and how much because I see that on surge protectors, but I don't really understand. Okay, what like the monoprice ones have a green light that says protected,
right? And
supposedly it turns red if it's run out of protection.
Right.
So
that's right.
So does that? So am I to assume that a surge protector can protect X number of times, essentially, and then it's no good enough?
You know, that's exactly how 99.9% of surge protectors work. So basically, in a surge protector, you have think of it sort of like a fuse or a filament, okay? And if you have a brownout or an oversurge or a lightning strike, most of the time it's just it's like varistors that are used to protect the circuit. So after like a super hard load from lightning or a brownout or something cycling trying to come back on, these varistors or these filaments, what they do is they break. They break. So what happens is there's a little monitoring circuit in most power strips, and when that connection breaks, when your protection breaks, the power strip will still function, but you'll no longer have that surge protection, and so that green light will turn red when it no longer detects continuity or voltage going across the varistor or the filament. I hope that makes sense.
But not that many surge protectors. Like, I mean, this one, for example. I mean, there's no indication of if it's run out of protection.
You just, and that's it's.
Well, there is a thing that says protected, but I mean, how often am I looking at that?
I don't know. I mean, that's something that you would monitor. That you would want to monitor, though. But all surge protectors that have that kind of not conditioning but surge suppression have a volatile, basically just like a volatile metal in them that after maybe one, maybe even after 2 hits, it's gone and it won't work anymore, or at least your protection will be nullified. Yeah. So you will want to replace it.
I mean, to my knowledge, I have no idea if a surge protector is ever truly protected in any situation I've had,
Well, you know what? It's just wishful thinking. Just assume that it has. Assume that it has helped you. But you know what? A lot of the time, surge protectors are kind of, they're not pointless and they're not useless. But people who have, coaxial cable television running into their set, and their set is connected, their television set in some way or capacity is already connected to all these other multimedia devices, and your cable gets hit, which is more often likely or more often prone to happen, at least from lightning, than your actual mains getting hit like that. All those devices more than likely are going to get damaged anyways. What I'm getting at is it's not just important to protect your main side from,
That's why a lot of them have the coaxial pass-throughs.
That's why most of them do have the coaxial pass-throughs, and if they don't, you may want to consider that in life.
And the telephone ports too, because when my house got hit, like this is back when we were still using landlines, lightning struck somewhere, and it went through the phone lines all through the house and just melted everything that was hooked up to a phone.
It's exactly right. It's exactly
Really?
right, Joe.
They melted it?
Oh yeah.
Well, it was like, I mean, it didn't like melt my Saturn. Thankfully, I didn't have a net leak or anything, but like, the stuff that was connected to like the phone, all the phones were gone. Like anything that has like a modem or anything like that, it was just like literally, you could see where the modem card and the computer, it was just like all melted and stuff.
Right.
Did it kill the computer too?
Yes, it did.
Like my
So-
greatest fear is like having my computer.
Yeah.
I guess my point is, everybody focuses on the power strips for the power, but just as Joe has relayed to you and I've relayed to you, there are other factors here that are just as important to secure and to protect. Always wear protection.
Well, mine's not connected to the outside. I don't have cable. I just like get TV using one of those.
Antennas?
Yeah, the Mohu leaf.
Yeah, but you
antenna.
have cable internet, right?
No, it's fiber.
Well, I wish I could have that.
I mean, could it happen through the fiber optics too, or no?
I mean,
Fiber
fiber's
optics.
not wire. Or not metal.
It's yeah. It depends on what kind of setup they have up there. Where you're in, I don't know. Who's your provider?
Cincinnati Bell.
I don't know.
My optics, I think it is.
I don't think so.
Yes, my optics is what it is. I think.
If it's true, if it's not twisted pair, and if it's true, I mean, do you really have actual fiber running into your house?
It goes to a box that's on the side of the house, and then a Ethernet cable goes up the side of the house into my attic.
Okay, so it's actual though. It's twisted pair coming into the house though, right? It's not fiber coming into the house, but you have Ethernet, which is twisted pair. So yeah,
Sure.
if that box were to ever get hit for whatever reason, yeah, that would take everything. It's plausible. It's possible for it to take everything.
Well, it's probably very not a good chance of that happening.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's very likely, but I mean, lightning looks for the point of least resistance, and if it somehow couples into that box, you're going to get owned.
That's not what happens in Zelda.
You know what? You know what? I don't even want to talk to. I don't even know what you're talking about. You're talking
when you're wearing like metal equipment in Zelda. Man, I hate that the lightning.
Oh my god, I can't stand that. Of course, you unequip it, and of course, the lightning completely ignores you, even though you're still carrying all that.
It's
Oh.
like.
Did you? Yeah. Did you do the trial quest over there though to get the where you got to pick up the orbs and put them in the right places to get the rubber suit?
No, I didn't do that one.
Oh shoot! I hope I didn't.
Where
ruin it
is
for
the
you.
rubber suit?
I can't
There's
even
a
explain
rubber
it.
suit?
I'd have to look at the map. It's a quest. I think it's a shrine quest. What is the quest called though? It's where you go into the little place and it's you've got these beautiful gazing balls and I think you have to put them in the right order. What is the name of that quest? Or that shrine quest? I don't know. Oh, here it is. Let's see. I was going to look that up for you. But I'm not going to tell you because I'm not a cheater.
I mean, I don't mind. That was one of the coolest experiences that we had with Zelda. Was when we were in LA shooting this night trap thing. Troy and I were playing both our own games of Zelda side by side, but since the game is so wide open, we were just like helping each other through certain areas. Like, oh, I found this.
Yeah,
And
well, it wasn't like
such a cool
spoilers,
experience, to play it.
The quest is called Trial of Thunder, and that's all I'll say. I don't want to reveal too much to your audience.
Makes sense. Yeah, I've only got like 82 shrines right now. Coury, how many do you have?
I gotta put the game in to look.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have
I
a
think that's
Mario
right one.
game paused right now. I don't remember. I didn't even know it was on the loading screen until after I beat the game. I didn't even know you could shoot lasers with the Master Sword until after I beat the game.
I didn't know that either.
I still don't know that. You just spoiled the game for me. I hate
It ruined it. It's way easier to do than you think it is.
How do
How
you
do
do
you
that?
do
How do
it?
you shoot lasers?
You use the throw weapon button with the Master Sword equipped.
Oh,
Why
that's
would
right.
you throw the Master Sword?
Equip that.
Right. They wouldn't let you throw the Master Sword.
Yeah,
so it makes
exactly.
total sense.
That makes
You gotta
sense.
have full health though. I guess.
Well,
I noticed the Master Sword powers up like after you kill a few Guardians with it.
Oh yeah, I mean if you're close to a Guardian, it'll start glowing blue.
Yeah, and it gets attack level of 60 instead of 30.
Yeah. Apparently in the DLC that's coming up, there's a quest, like a trial of the sword or something like that, and then it makes it so the sword is constantly like that.
I have a question. I have a question for Triforce.
Mm-hmm.
I see you have a PS1 Fat, and you have a PS1 Mini, and then you have a PS2 Fat and a PS2 Mini.
I figured you'd be critical of that.
I mean, I guess I can understand. Well, no, I really can't understand. I need you to walk me through this before I cry.
Well, for one, I just like the different models, but
Okay.
two, the little one is my Japanese one, just because I like that I don't need any mods on my PlayStations to play everything I want, and the Slim I bought originally because my Fat.
I thought that's one.
Oh, is it a 7001?
It's a 9001.
Yeah, we thought at the time we thought.
It's brand new. We both got ours brand new.
Yeah, and my Fat started having disc read issues, which, I mean, not all the time, but sometimes, and so I just wanted to get a new one for posterity. But then I later learned that my Fat is one of the ones that you consider not a great model, but I was working at one point on setting up the SD media launching in the Fat, but I haven't. I have not finished that process. I realized that I needed to look up a few things that I didn't fully understand about that, and I never finished.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, you're forgiven this time. That makes sense.
I just like having them all. I mean, I mean, in particular, like the little PS1. I just think it looks cool.
Yeah, I've always liked the PS1, the Mini. It looks nice.
You know, it was probably like 2009 or 2010 before I even knew that the Slim was a top loader.
Oh, really?
The PS2 Slim, yeah. I had no idea. One of my college suite mates had one, but I mean, I never actually saw it in use, so I had no idea.
Yeah, the Slim's not. I mean, the anything other than the 7001 series is kind of crappy in my opinion, but the Slim itself is a really nice. It's a nice piece of hardware. It really is. I like them.
They have good CD drives in them.
They sure do.
And people always say that their PS1's Fats, their drive fails and stuff, and yeah, sure, it's a little finicky, but mine works like a champ, even with CDRs. Just as long as you prop the console up on its side, it works like a champ.
I mean,
well, definitely like a problem with FMV game or with full motion video and stuff, right?
Yeah, it plays fine. It's great.
That's really the 1001, and the reason that the 1001 series, the audio files people call it, fails like that, is because the power supply design and the placement, how it generates so much heat, and it's so close to the optical drive that on the PS1, the audio file, the sled assembly for the laser is made of plastic. And what happens is over time is that heat will eventually contort and slightly melt and warp that plastic that drives the laser sled. So in order to correct that, what they did in later revisions is they made a little small wall to kind of shut some of the heat, and they also replaced all of the plastic material in on the laser sled that tracks it back and forth with metal. So if you want to, and you want to be a champion in life, what you can do is you can buy a PS1 Mini that's junk somewhere and take the laser assembly out of it, because unlike any other laser assembly for the PS1, the laser assembly in the Mini is a carbon. It's a 1-to-1 design copy of the original audiophile laser assembly, but it has all the perks and all the pluses and none of the cons. And then you'd have a great performing audiophile, and you would never have to worry about it.
Really?
Yep, that's true.
You call it the audio file because it has the RCA jacks on the back and it's supposed to sound really good with CDs or some nonsense
Well,
like
it's
that?
got like a better
Well, no,
like,
it's not
codec
the
or something,
RCA
right?
jacks that make it sound so great. It's the audio DAC that makes it sound
Yeah,
so
the
great.
DAC.
And
Yeah.
do
That's
all
the whole world
RCA
about
jacks
RCA jacks. It's awesome.
do
Well, that's the one.
do all RCA
Yeah, that's
jack units have the better DAC?
Well, some of them do, but in my opinion, I think the 5501 mainboard revision can have superior audio to that of even the 1001.
Now, that's only for like disc playback, Redbook audio, right? Everything else, it would sound identical across PlayStation revisions.
No, not exactly.
So even the first one would sound better on like Yellow Book audio or whatever, any in-game streaming sounds.
Yeah, I guess when we kind of have to define better, because as far just even my ears, really, as far as I could even tell, I wouldn't be able to tell you much. But you know, if we're talking academically, like games that use, you know, nice samples for their audio, you would probably hear those differences between the systems.
Well, I wouldn't know because that's the only PlayStation I've ever had.
Well, if
Really?
that's the only one you have, brother. You've got a good model, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it works like a champion too.
Now that I've got you hooked up with that boot disc, you can do everything.
For that?
Yeah, the only thing about that, the PAL, trying to play PAL games on that is the video's kind of low because I guess it just won't output the resolution.
Oh, I just want to tell you, Joe, on that boot disc that I sent you the other day, if you turn it on and you hold R1 and R2 on the controller, you can adjust because of that. You can adjust the screen.
Oh, really?
Yep. With the last boot disc that I sent you, just hold R1, R2, just hold all the top buttons, and then it'll let you move the screen to compensate for that.
Okay, so like when I'm booting up the boot disc and not the game.
Yes.
Okay.
It's either or. I can't remember. I can send you the manual for it. It'll show you it'll tell you how to do it. But basically,
is it printed out on cardstock?
I can print it out, and I can print it out on my body.
This is fancy.
Tap to it. I'd read it.
Is it what system is it for?
PS1.
Oh, really? Would it work on the one I have or no? The one that you put in mine?
The one that you have shouldn't require the boot disc.
Yeah, it doesn't require anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You don't need anything in life.
Right.
And what I don't understand.
There it is, the PSP Go.
That's really nice. You know, he almost talked me into buying one of those, but I bought a PS TV for like nothing, and I hacked it to play PSP stuff. Oh, sorry. Well, it plays PSP stuff now, and it's wonderful.
You mean all the games that it didn't?
I still need to buy a.
Oh, well, there's been two things. There's been two updates to the PS TV. One, before you had to use those really expensive proprietary Sony memory cards. You don't have to do that anymore. You could just use a generic $3 USB flash drive. And number two, PS1 and the real PSP support has been fully unlocked. So you can now totally run even the PSP OSD, the XMB, all the PS1 games, all the PSP games, everything that you ever played with on your PSP. It's all there.
You can.
Oh, and you can store games on a flash.
You can store anything through that.
I'm telling you, boys, it's possible. It's America. You can. You can put any game that you... It is amazing.
I'm going to have to take off. Sorry to cut you short.
That's not right. Thanks for joining us.
You bet.
Hey, Joe.
Later.
All right. Bye.
Later, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And
You can load any game.
That only happened a couple of weeks ago too, to where they fully unlocked the USB storage. So, but yes, any Vita game, any PSP game, you can now load, and it will read from that USB port. So you can get a 128 megabyte or gigabyte flash drive and put every game that you want on it, and you don't have to worry about that silly memory card.
Is it the same speed?
Yeah, it's super fast. I mean, well, my goodness, the USB 2.0 read speed beats the crap out of the slow read speed of that of those Vita cards. It's slow.
That's ridiculous.
Vita cards are super slow.
Really? That's annoying.
Yes, that is correct.
I've got I need to get a hackable one. Unless,
Yeah, I'll just go on eBay. They're pretty. You can still buy them real brand new, really cheap.
yeah. I've been meaning to get around to it, but I've got on this one. I've got one of those command strip, the kind that you stick to another surface, because
Yeah.
I
it's
need to
like
get some of those.
because it moves like so.
Yeah.
Like the HDMI cable just drags it.
Yeah, I have that problem too. You need to send me a link to where you get those.
I got them at Lowe's, and I just
Oh
have
my
the
God.
other end of the strip stuck right here. So that's where it goes.
I'm telling you, I have enjoyed Persona 4 and really what I got it for. I don't even care about Vita games, though I really like Persona 4. I tried it, but my God, the PSP is a flippin' RPG powerhouse, and I have had the best time playing all those great PSP RPGs on a full screen television. Plus, those games have been patched to take advantage of the right analog stick now. So,
Oh wow!
I'm in heaven, you know?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, maybe I'll have to buy a second one too. Because my 64 gig card died out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah?
So annoyed about it.
And they're still like $100, aren't they? If you were to replace that card, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I
I mean, I
bought.
just 8 gig. It was one in my Vita system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same case for me. I've got my original 32 gig in the PSTV, which didn't I see a tweet from Limited Run Doug saying something about apparently the 32
It's
might
not-
have failures too?
No, it didn't happen to my 32. My 32 has been fine.
But no,
he
no,
said
no,
he read
but-
something about how the failure rate was the same between 64 and 32.
Really? Wow, that's got me worried. See, I wanted to buy a 32 to like just proactively replace the 64 because I found out that I can actually get away with what I've got. I can get away with a 60 with a 16. So I got a 16. Those are getting a little expensive now too. But now what you're saying about the PSTV hack and being able to use USB memory, like whoa, that's got me even more interested in getting a hackable one.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. For sure. I mean the whole when they fully unlocked the PSP support on the thing, and when you couple that in with the fact that you can now use a USB drive at any size or capacity, that's pretty much like a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I mean they're like $40 or less now, right?
What's that? The PSTV
To get
itself?
a brand new PSTV.
Oh yeah. That's right.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Vulgar.
Oh yeah, they're like, well,
See, I'm worried they're
You know,
going to go up in price eventually.
You know, well, because of all that stuff that they've done for it as of like the last 2 or 3 weeks, they probably have inflated a bit. I bought my box. I bought the Lego set for like $55, and that was just
gotten it when Target was clearing out of them.
I don't know, when I did put all those Twitter pictures up when I kind of hacked it. That's been a little while ago, but it was only like $55. It came with the DualShock and everything, and an 8 GB card.
I don't know if this is good or bad or indifferent, but I got one of those what people call a dock sock for the Switch to prevent scratching, and I also got the tempered glass screen protector, and
I have one of those too.
It is really snug in there because the tempered glass raises it up a bit. And then you add that with the dock sock, like there is, I really didn't like how there was like a lot of play in it, with no just putting it in out of the box. But it's snug now. I don't know if that's bad, but I hope it's not bad.
Well, the dock sock, I've never even heard of that thing, but I haven't looked at it, but I hope that doesn't, help heat stay trapped in one of these things.
Well, I do want. Well, here's the weird thing. I didn't realize these things on the back. I guess supposedly those are intake vents. I thought they had something to do with the speakers.
These things? Oh yeah.
See, I didn't realize that, but when you put it in the dock, is there even? Well, there's a hole. There's kind of a there's a hole.
I'll be honest with you. You know, I guess pretty much all of us got one of these at launch. You know, this is probably the third time it's ever been out of its dock. I never take this thing out of the dock and play it.
You know, I've found the out of the dock to be. I mean, I think it's just because me and Coury did the trip to do the Night Trap documentary, but I found the out of the dock experience to be much more interesting than I expected. I mean, yeah, I'm going to play it in the dock, you know, probably 70 to 80% of the time in the dock, but you know, I've enjoyed it as a travel system. I mean, you know, since I had my setup in disarray, I played Mario Kart in handheld mode last night.
You know, I think this is the longest I've actually ever tried handheld. I'm breaking barriers here. It's kind of weird. I don't know what to do.
I think it's pretty nice, but I don't do it super often. But you know, if I'm sitting over at my computer, I'll just have it sitting there and pick it up for a quick game or something.
Hey, you know what? I don't have another friend here, obviously, but I wonder what the multiplayer function is in this game. And Blaster Master Zero. I wonder what you can do.
I think it's not online multiplayer. I think it's maybe. I may have heard that one person drives, the other person shoots.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be kind of neat.
Which is awesome, yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because in that game, are like both characters like in the Sophia at the same time or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. The girl and the what's his name? Right. I got owned. Okay, that's kind of neat. Oh, you're coming along nice. Triforce, you're coming along quite nice here. I like what I see.
I've just done the power cords over here. Wow, do I have them all done? Yeah, turn the PSTV off. It turned on.
You know what I always hated about when you go through your setup again and do all your cable management, regardless of how nice or clean you do it, for some reason, whenever there comes a time for me to add a new system or an additional system, all that 6 hours I spent to make everything look really nice gets destroyed when a new system has to be put in. I don't know why.
I get lazy when I have to, like, I try to do it as decently as I can, you know, for now, but I mean,
yeah,
my cable management skills are not amazing, but you know.
Well, I'm okay. I mean, if I sit and do it, but regardless of how, you know, I do.
I mean, what I do, and I'm actually going because I've been using it for a number of years, and it's all dirty, and I think I'm going to attach some Velcro strips to it and really do it a lot better. But I had taped what I had done before. I think I'd showed it in the tour video. I put behind this unit, I put a black cloth on the back.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't see the wires unless you're like peeking over.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is your GameCube there? You got a component coming out of that thing, or is that just S-Video or?
Oh no, I've
RGB?
got component. I mean, I've had the component cable since 2004.
Oh wow, okay, you're an original.
Oh yeah.
You're one of the originals.
Yeah.
Back when they were what, like $24, $25?
Oh, whatever it costs to get them. But so here's what power behind here is looking like. I could probably tie some of those up to tuck them away a little better over there, but
it's looking good.
But I'm going to run all of the cables under the leg of that table there, and they will come to the G-SCARTs there, which I think those look really. I mean, I don't mind kind of seeing those a little bit, you know, from sitting back here. I think they'll look kind of cool having all the cables going on.
Oh, there's the G-Comp.
Yeah.
I guess those went on sale today and sold out today.
Really?
The only thing I worry about, and don't change anything, but the only thing that kind of concerns me are those the G-SCARTs there on that carpet.
I mean, that's where I've always had them. I mean,
well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just don't rub your feet. You know,
I mean, do you have like a board or anything? I'd keep my computer like on a board. It's just like a shelf from a broken down like wooden shelf. It's just like a thin board. I just put my computer on it so it stays off the carpet.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd consider that at least Triforce
Yeah,
at some point. I'm not saying it's bad, but I would do that.
I've thought it. I mean, before where they were, I really didn't have the room to put anything under them. But now I probably do. So I mean, I'll definitely consider it. But I mean, the board. It's not like the board itself touches the carpet. I mean, it's on the plexiglass. I mean, it's raised up off the carpet a bit. I would say it's unlikely that it would conduct anything to it, but
yeah, you put plastic feet on them. That's what Tech Guy 384 said.
Well, there are plastic feet under them, but they're not.
You just get a real plastic carpet.
Yeah, they're just they're buried a little bit because of the carpet, but yeah.
Okay.
I really like how my FrameMeister cable goes.
Now, how do you have your FrameMeister situated? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice. That looks really good.
Yeah, that's straight out of the G-Comp.
Yep, I like it.
I originally thought it was going to go the other way, but that puts the least strain on the cable. And before, I actually had a fair bit of strain on the cable, and I actually had my FrameMeister twisted a bit to alleviate that strain. I had turned to the side a bit in my previous configuration.
Yep. I just realized that you said for games played for this, you just said lots of wires. See that?
Oh man, it's almost midnight.
You can show everybody your VCR there.
Oh, is that a high cassette? What is that?
It's a SVHS. It came with the monitor on the left, actually.
Yep, that's really nice too.
Yeah,
I got a set of VHS.
I don't know how I'm really going to set it up though. I meant to run the wires to it, but I was just like, ugh, I'm just so.
Do you think this stuff is going to be easy to shoot in front of?
What do you mean?
Because before it's kind of easy to like shoot video in front of it. I mean, sitting in front of it, or shooting video of them. You know how you did shots of your TV?
Yeah.
And
are you saying you think it looks like this would be harder?
It looks like it might be harder because of the way the PVMs are angled.
Yeah.
Why would it be harder because of them being angled?
I don't know, because you had like a straight on view before, and now one of them's like at an angle and the other one's...
No, they're both at an angle. They're at the same angle.
Oh. Are they?
Yeah.
I'm talking about your HD TV and your TV.
Oh, well, I mean, I can turn the TV. You're talking like when I did like that shot with Kirby.
Right, when you show both at the same time.
Yeah, but the HDTV can turn.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not too worried about that. And it should, actually, being over there, they should, just for regular use, be a little easier to shoot off of. Because I won't get any glare from the window.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And now this wire that's running across the floor, that's just for monitor power, and the microphone that you're hearing me off of right there. Or actually, not permanent, because once I move the monitor to the other side, when I get the 4K TV, I won't have a need of that anymore, and everything is just going to run along that wall over there.
Have you settled on a 4K model that you want to get? I'm telling you, man.
I'm a little torn right now, because I mean there's conversation that FreeSync could possibly come to TVs next year.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds cool. And I think the Scorpio might support it. But I don't know if it's really going to be that useful. So I don't know if I want to wait on that. I mean, that's only a possibility. I mean, we don't even know, you know? We don't
It's all.
even know if TVs will support that this soon.
Well, you could always get, the Hisense models of this year are pretty good. I'm just being mean. Nick, good old Nick, our friend Nick from HD Retrovision is talking highly of the Hisense television panels. I had a friend of mine had one of those a couple.
Are we still streaming? Are we still here? There's over 300 people watching this crap? Did the stream go down?
I think the stream went down because
Skype just randomly quit for some reason.
I was talking for an hour, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize you guys weren't there. Whoops.
Am I streaming again?
Skype just crashed for some reason.
Is
on my Mac.
Is the stream up though?
I think we're back up here.
Do I need to restart the stream?
Yeah, the stream. I think the stream was always
the
up.
stream has been fine. The Skype call crashed because for some reason it crashed. I don't know why.
I can't believe there's over 300 people watching this.
313. This might be almost close to our biggest one.
I don't know why.
Love this stuff.
Have you considered? I don't know if you heard me, Triforce, but have you considered the, something from the Hisense 2017 lineup?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe you should, give that some consideration. I can't talk highly enough about the 2016 Vizio 4KD series.
Yeah, I mean,
the
Vizio's
what a television!
Impressive.
I mean, I clocked that sucker at about 13 milliseconds of latency on the fifth input, from 480p all the way to 1080p. Phenomenal. You can't beat that, fellas. You can't beat that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in no hurry, but I mean, I'd like to next year. I think a lot of people want a video on it from us. I know that Troy's like itching to do that too.
Yeah.
Is the bomb in Mario Kart 8? That's a new item, right?
Um.
Or is it the feather?
No, the bomb's there. The bomb's in the Wii U version.
It's the ghost and the feather that are new.
No, the ghost. We had the ghost before. The feather is the feather in racing mode, or is it only in battle mode?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember having the ghost before.
I think the ghost. I don't think
Ghost
the.
twice.
To my memory, I don't think the ghost has skipped any Mario Kart games. But the feather hasn't been in since the original.
Really? What does the feather even do?
It'll let you jump.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that the no, I might be wrong on that. Maybe the ghost was in the Wii U version.
It's been a long time. Let's skip Mario Kart 7.
I think. Oh, really? It did.
That's what they're saying. My favorite part about Mario Kart 8 is the levels that are not laps.
Oh yeah.
Like the snow one is great.
The first one, the Mario Kart 7, I think was the first game to have those. Or maybe did we have any like that? I don't think it did.
Not in Double Dash or not in Wii U. Not in Mario Kart Wii U or Wii. I'm sorry, Mario Kart Wii. I don't think so.
I mean, I think that's pretty cool. There's only a few though, isn't there? There's like 3 of them or something.
What's the one that's in the snow that you start? I can't
That's
remember. The name of
Wario Mountain, I think.
it. It's wonderful. That game has an amazing soundtrack too. Good lord.
You're gonna have to buy it.
Well, I mean, I've got it on Wii U. I'm just going to have to get it on the Switch now. I mean, I've dominated it on the Wii U. I played so many tournaments and loved it. Loved it.
We should
Still
do
love
a stream sometime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I know that Nintendo said that they're going to have a pay service for their online stuff.
Right.
Obviously, that's not out yet. So
Right.
I don't
So
even know if that works. But they're letting people play Mario Kart 8 online, I guess, without having to have any of that?
Right.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is kind of a bummer that that's going to go away eventually.
Yeah,
That is a
but
bummer.
it's nice.
It should be like charging only for games going forward that release with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like for games that don't start with play online.
I'll tell you this: if it costs as much as like Xbox Live or something like that, I won't get it because there's no. I mean, if it's like $1, a couple dollars a month, that's one thing. But like $10 or $15 for that, no.
Yeah.
Wrong platform to have that kind of a service, in my opinion. Totally wrong platform.
I agree. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
See what happens. Let's not complain too much.
I mean, the only reason I even have like online for PSN right now is because it was really cheap at Christmas, and I just bought like a couple of years at one time. So I have like 2019, I think.
I've been holding off on buying a PlayStation 4, and I don't know. I just the exclusive games just aren't there for me. But this Scorpio thing, if it turns out to be something compelling, I may pick one up just because I like the Gears games and I like I like playing the Halo stuff. But the PS4, I mean, it's really nice, but I just those awesome like Konami exclusives and those other awesome exclusive games, they just don't. Like Final Fantasy used to be a huge flagship for them. What does Sony really have that's continued to be an exclusive for their platform?
Oh, there's a lot of exclusive stuff on the PS4. Way more exclusive stuff than there is on the Xbox.
Is there really? I couldn't think of 4 things that would be worth playing. I mean, maybe I'm just really not thinking of 4 things, but I can't think of. Well, name 4 things. Name 4 things, Coury.
I'll go and see what I got here.
Oh, Uncharted. I didn't think about Uncharted. Okay, that makes sense.
Uncharted is like, I would say, like Sony's like big exclusive series right now. Though I mean, it's kind of been around a while.
Does PC count for you?
Yeah, because I have Yeah, I mean, if it's for PC, I mean, I have a very competent PC, so. I mean, it's just PS4.
Gravity Rush 2, Last Guardian, Persona 5, the Ratchet and Clank remake.
Is the Crash Bandicoot remake or the retool, is that for just the PS4 too?
Yeah.
The trilogy? Okay,
Yeah.
That's a good one to think about. Yeah. Okay, so I'm wrong. There are a few good IPs there that are still limited to Sony hardware.
Yeah, a lot better.
I mean, I feel like last generation Sony really. I feel like their first parties in a lot of ways came into their own, like on PS3. I feel like in part because they were kind of cornered. They really had to go guns blazing. I mean, that was. I mean, PS3 was the generation where I started being like, I kind of like Sony. Whereas before, I only owned it because, they started getting all the third-party support. But deep down, I wished I didn't have to have it. I could just get away with Nintendo like I used to, dang it,
Yeah.
Crash Trilogy might be timed exclusive. I don't know if that's an official thing or not. But I mean, in terms of like Xbox stuff, I mean, I'm a big Gears fan. I did not buy Gears of War 4 yet. Because Gears of War. Makes sense, right?
Sure.
I got really burned out on the gameplay of it.
Mm-hmm.
That, Judgment was just like one game too many. And I was just like done. I didn't feel the excitement to get another one.
Were you one of those guys that really loved the online multiplayer aspect just as much as the story and single player?
I played a ton of the first one online.
Okay. Yeah, I never played it much online.
People I played with, it was fun. But I mean, I didn't get into the rest of the games at all like that.
Okay. Were you a badass at Gears of War 1? Were you like?
I wasn't great, but I wasn't horrible either. I mean, a lot of people argue that the first game the online was really broken. Like the shotgun was so powerful, and if you're not hosting, then you have this huge advantage. But it was really fun. Despite
I mean, did they remaster the first game and kind of redo it, or okay?
Actually, I bought it for a try at Target on clearance for $8.98.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it's just sitting. It was sitting there. I was like, "Do you want this?" He's like, "He doesn't even have a
Xbox One yet."
Xbox One," and he's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So I got him that, and I got Sunset Overdrive for him, which was $5.
Sunset Overdrive.
Another great exclusive.
That's from Insomniac.
But Ori and the Blind Forest that's on PC.
That's
I think the Gears Remastered is on PC as well. I bought Recore. I haven't played it.
I want to say I think I heard it was decent, but I can't remember.
Yeah. What else did I get for it? I mean, I still haven't gotten Quantum Break, which I do want to get because I really like Remedy. I mean, I loved Alan Wake and Max Payne.
Yeah.
I just haven't got it. For some reason, Quantum Break has been like $30 since it never goes below like $28 or something like that.
It's still popular.
I don't think so. It's just that for some reason, it's just like stayed at that price on Amazon. I don't hear anybody talking about it.
I mean, I think it was well received.
Yeah. I mean, decently well received at least.
Quantum Break. Yeah.
It's the one that has Iceman from the X-Men movies in it.
Right, yeah. I remember seeing this. Yeah, okay. Thought about picking this up on Steam a while back.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these are out on Steam.
Do you have Steam? Do you use Steam? Do you play on Steam?
Yeah, I mean, I have Steam, but I don't use it
Not
much as I used to.
Are you not much of a PC gamer?
Not really anymore. And I mean, if I do buy games on PC, I try to get them on GOG instead because you can actually download it DRM free.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like I did that with my Ease games, because I bought them on the ones that were. This was before Ease Origin was available. It was going to be coming to PS4 physically. But,
Oh yeah. When and where can we buy that?
I don't know. I'm guessing maybe the end of the month.
Make sure you link me to that when that happens, because I don't want to miss that.
So in Japan, the Ease games on PC got these really nice, like box collections.
Oh, that is nice.
And it's like kind of a nice thing. You open it up, it has like a big DVD case in here with the game disc in it, and it has like a big art book, 2 art books.
Yep.
Or one art book. It's just like a really nice thing. So I I bought that. I think this was $20, and I went on GOG, and I bought it on sale for like $7.99 or something like that, and I downloaded the DRM file or the DRM free version of it, installer and everything. I just put it on a little USB flash drive.
Oh, how about that?
Put it right in the case. So it's kind of like I have a physical version of it,
Right.
without having a physical version.
That's cool. That's very cool.
I mean, it has the Japanese version installer disc. It looks like it's never been played.
I've never played any of these games. You know, I used to use Book 1 and 2. I used to use that to test. When I would calibrate a laser in a PC Engine, I would use that. And I played a little bit of Wanderers of Ease on the Super Nintendo, but I've really never really played them. Never really gave them a chance.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love them.
Yeah, I'll try them out.
I mean, I started playing it on the Master System, and it kind of disappeared for a long time. I played 3 on the Genesis, Wanderers from Ease on the Genesis, but I didn't really like that it was side-scrolling, and then it kind of disappeared for a long time.
So the Wanderers of Ys, that was on the Genesis, because I played it on the Super, and I thought it was...
Yeah, it was on PC Engine, TurboGrafx, Super NES, and Genesis.
And I guess that's considered is that the second game or the third game?
That's the third game, but it actually takes place after the 4th game.
Okay, yeah, one of those things, huh? Okay.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, when Wanderers from Ys came out, they switched over to a side-scrolling game, and I think a lot of people were annoyed, so they went back and did with Ys 4, which was like multiple different versions of Ys 4, because different developers did it for different systems.
Oh, I see. So everyone kind of had their own little interpretation of it.
With the Vita version of Memories of Celceta, that there was like an official version of it that Valve did themselves, but that went back to an overhead layout because they didn't like the way it was done.
Yeah, I'll check them out again. I'll definitely check them out again.
But then it was remade on PC, called Ys: The Oath in Felghana, and it's really, really good. Maybe the best game in the series, which is kind of funny.
My favorite.
It's long.
My favorite was Celceta.
What?
My favorite was Celceta, but
Really?
yeah. Other than that, before that, I would say Felghana.
I mean, Felghana is definitely my favorite.
I liked
the fact that it's like 12 hours long. It's an amazing soundtrack.
I really like the party mechanic that they added to 7. So that's
Right.
what I liked in Celceta, but I felt like 7 wasn't... Like, 7 had a lot of padding. Like, a lot of padding.
Yeah. I mean, I played through 7, I think, when I was really sick. And that's, like, I'm kind of, like, attached to it because I was really sick and...
Because you were going through pain.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the time... I mean, I've told Troy a bit about this, but I got put on this medication for a bit, and my body had such a horrible reaction to it that it, like, really effed me up for, like... I still feel effects from it.
What was wrong with you? I mean, you don't have to talk. Did you have a cold or flu or something, or?
No, I hurt myself working out, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna put you." We went to the doctor because like my ankles were just like inflamed, and they gave me this medication called Levaquin that they're like, "Oh, this will like make it go down." And instead, what happened is that it made the tendons in my legs like stiffen up. You can hear my son, he's waking up. Let me just turn on the volume really quick. But it made the tendons in my legs stiffen up, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't bend my legs.
I don't think I've ever heard this, actually.
Oh my god.
So basically your limbs were just kind of like frozen, I guess, because the tendons just wouldn't stretch and move. Is that what you're saying?
Right. And it just
God.
I could bend them a little bit and walk, but it was...
Painful?
it was horrifying for one thing, and this was after like 3 days of taking it. So I started like looking up like, oh, it's like people have written about this having such a bad reaction to it. Like some people like were talking about how the medication Levaquin would make their tendon so brittle that like this one person talking about how his Achilles tendon just snapped.
Oh man! So it gave you tendonitis, is basically.
Yes, exactly. And it was like, I thought that like I wasn't gonna be able to walk ever again because like regularly.
Holy cow!
I don't think I ever heard this story actually.
It was like.
Was this several years ago, or was this recent? Or?
Yeah, it was actually. I got prescribed it on my first wedding anniversary, so this was 2009.
Oh man! And you say you still feel some.
If I don't like exercise or like walk, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why we try to walk a lot too. It's because if I am not walking very much, it'll start to like my legs will get really stiff and it will. It just starts to feel painful.
That's terrible, man. It makes you really crazy or paranoid about really taking anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a medication freak or anything, but some of that stuff it's scary. It can be really scary.
Absolutely. It was
Right?
it was at the time like I was just like I couldn't get out of bed. And I was having these ridiculous like night sweats where the reason it made me think of it because I've been really sick these last few days. I'm with a strep throat. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I got it, then my kids got it, and then I got it. I'm doing a bit better now, but like last night, I had such a high fever. I fell asleep after taking some NyQuil, woke up in the middle of the night, and you would think that I ran like 3 miles. I had like sweat through the sheets. And but that happened every single night when I was on this medication, like getting better from it. And I lost like 20
Ton of weight, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Well, you'll never take that again.
No, I mean every time I go to the doctor now, I was telling Troy earlier that since like kind of settling down here now I have like a regular doctor. And like I said, okay, so it kind of explained that, saying like never give me anything in the it's like the quinolone family of medications.
Right.
But I just think about that sometimes, and I just like never really felt like so helpless like that.
Yeah, so that creates a lot of anxiety. I would be afraid forever. Shoot.
Yeah.
Man, that's terrible.
Canadian Fuzzy, like I would love to have a treadmill in here, but there's no way I would go up to the 3rd floor. Also, it's good to like get out to the gym. It's like since having my son, having the second kid, it's gotten so hard to get to the gym. I used to be so good at it. I used to go like 5-6 days a week. And since having my son, man, it's just like gotten so much tougher. And that, like, I'm working on the channel and stuff a lot too. I'm sitting down, and
it's hard, man. I used to be pretty physically fit, and over the past 3 or 4 years, that's really gone. I'm a lazy bastard. I mean, I'm not a lazy bastard, but there's so much, now that I have going on, there's really no time for that, period.
Right.
I mean, I try to make time for that. I mean, I've got a heavy bag and some other equipment in my garage. I try to make a conscious effort to spend 30 minutes, 3 days a week, hitting the heavy bag, but it's hard. It's really hard. And when you get older, you're a little older than I am, but when you get older, things just get hard.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, there's sometimes where I'll get back in the zone of going a lot, and it's weird because I feel like I have a really good core strength from like, carrying kids and picking them up and down 3 flights of stairs several times a day, and just that. But I'm pretty convinced that like all the weight issues comes from the fact that, like they never finish their food. It's like, oh, I'll just like finish up what they didn't eat. That's my problem. And it's so easy just to do that.
I don't have children. I don't know.
Hey, oh, they only ate, like half this chocolate egg.
Oh, well, then, yeah, I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, like, for you, for example.
They only had one spoonful of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
There's a whole plate left. I can't just...
You know, something I noticed with, I don't know if it's the Toro or if it could be my Dreamcast, but when I first got my 20L5 and was testing 480p to it, I noticed it was like the white was yellow.
Yeah, you got to watch out because...
And it wasn't like that on the FrameMeister, but then recently I saw it like that on the FrameMeister, and I was like, what is causing it? And what I found was, I can't remember if it was pushing down or pushing up, but it's the connection here. Like, if it turns the wrong color, I have to, like, push it. Like, push it up or down. I don't know if it's the Toro or if the connection...
That's what's causing issues of mine.
What is it?
I think it's putting too much weight on the connector, and it's causing it to short.
You shouldn't hang it off the edge if you can. Don't hang it off.
Oh, it's not. Should I set the Toro up on like a little...
No, I mean...
little platform or something?
If you have issues, like I had an issue with mine not working, and I sent an email to, I think it was Yossi from Bihar Bros, and he just sends you a new dongle. Like, that dongle can come right off.
Oh, yeah. It's like in a little connector.
Yeah, you can pull that right off. He'll send you another one. That's what he had to do for me.
Yeah, I don't... So you think it's the connector, not the Dreamcast?
No, it's definitely the connector. He said that, you can... If you have a little, like a pin or something, you can maybe bend the pins down a little bit.
Well, hopefully it will be okay. I mean, as long as I'm not touching that connector, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, once you put it in place and you get it right, it should be okay forever. I mean...
Right. Yeah, if you never move it.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes you got to flip that switch if you want to get, like... You got to switch it to 480i if you want to enable 240p on certain games.
Yeah, but I don't have any games like that.
Well, if you ever get Bang.io on it.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Yep. Well, I sent a message to Game Dave, see if he wanted to join us. He's not getting back.
It's after midnight.
I know it is. I thought it to him a while ago. Looks like he's not going to make it.
Am I going to connect anything else tonight?
I'm just kind of watching the demo of Mario Kart 8, and I didn't even realize I've never really seen the DLC in action. But I love how tightly Link is packed in there. Like his legs are bowed out from the side.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a great. See, that was a game that had wonderful downloadable content.
Oh yeah.
But you get that all though with the Switch, all the downloadable the two downloadable content packs that came out for the Wii U.
Too. There's even more characters.
Are there any new Are there any new tracks?
I don't think so.
That kind of sucks.
But the battle mode is what's completely new.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the battle mode in the original version was garbage.
Yeah, it was really shitty. I mean, sorry, but it wasn't very good.
And this is the classic.
So they took. Okay, so they've
arena.
They've retooled the battle mode.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to buy it tomorrow.
I heard it's selling really well.
I'm glad. See, Nintendo. They're doing God's work right now. It's happening for them. They're moving.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting system people can get excited about.
It is, and it was there's so much, in my opinion, there was so much weighing on the success of the launch. It's very, 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 very premature to make any sort of forecasts or predictions. But had the Switch done poorly, as abysmal as the Wii U did, I don't think we would have seen another major hardware launch out of Nintendo. I really believe that if the Switch bombed like the Wii U did that I think Nintendo, maybe not so much handheld, but they would be getting out of the hardware business.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. I'm very glad that it's going so well. We don't need them to be another Sega, for God's sakes.
Well, it looks like Sega's coming around again. I think they're giving a lot of the fans what they want.
Yep.
Some things. Not only Konami would.
No, I think Konami's just unreachable at this point.
Well, Bomberman, at least. You know they patched Bomberman recently, so it's 60 frames per second. When it released, it was 30, and a lot of people were kind of bummed about that.
They had to lower it to 720p, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the handheld mode is sub 720.
No joke. That's kind of lame.
What's crazy is, like, how come Mario Kart 8 can be 1080p 60 frames per second? And that looks like way crazier and better than...
Because what kind of talented person would work with Konami?
Yeah, at this point, really. I mean, my God, have you seen Metal Gear Survive? Good Lord, what is this?
Coming out.
Oh, man. It's like Metroid Federation Force, only more deplorable. It's like, what's going on here? I don't know. Metroid Federation Force, that probably... I shouldn't speak so ill of it. If it just had a different title, maybe it would be an okay game. But I can't get over that. It just seemed like a cheap cash grab.
It has the name Metroid on there?
Yeah. I just think that was... You could have named that game anything else. You could have thrown any other title at it in the world.
And you have it be part of Metroid without saying it.
Right, exactly.
Probably would.
It's like, I wonder if we'll see... Surely to God, certainly we'll see a Metroid, a big Metroid release for the Switch. Certainly. Wouldn't you imagine?
I would imagine.
I think it'd make a lot of people happy. But what I said, like when it was coming out, like one of the things that I like about the Switch is that there's just like a normal control method with it. It's consistent across everything.
Right.
Yeah. The Pro controller will probably be supported with everything.
Well, it wasn't with Blaster Master Zero at release.
Right. How often do you redo your setup? I think Trev redid his about a year and a half ago. And I did mine, it was probably a year ago now, wasn't it? It was right before the setup video. So that was a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason I'm doing this is, well, in part, I wanted the PVMs to kind of be in their own little spot where they could be a little more useful. And the other reason is I want to, I don't know exactly when, but I want to get a 4K TV without removing my existing TV. So this is kind of
wild
preparation for that. Also, I'm going to check the N64 because I'm not positive if I plugged in the right cable.
Uh-oh.
Oh?
I think Coury left. I think he was tired of us or something. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Sorry, I unplugged the Ethernet cable from my laptop. I thought it would seamlessly switch over, but it did not.
Didn't work that way, did it?
Oh, there we go.
What?
Got N64. The cable for it, I don't have it properly marked. And it doesn't do C-Sync.
Your 64 doesn't have composite sync?
Nuh-uh. I don't. To my where did I hear this? I've heard it said that even if you could hook up C-Sync for an N64, it's not particularly recommended. Apparently, it can be fiddly even if you do get it working. So apparently, Luma is recommended. That's what I've heard.
Well, whoever told you that's foolish. It's just not true. It's just not true. C-Sync is there on the board. It just has to be attenuated and shaped properly. Not a big deal. Takes 2 seconds. Don't change anything. I'm just saying.
I'm going to lay down. You mind? Should I lay down?
Yeah. Can I lay down?
You want to lay down?
Can I take my clothes off and lay down? Wait, this is YouTube. I love this. I love watching. I just love watching people do their setups over. This stuff to me. I imagine this may put a lot of people to sleep, but watching somebody go through their setup and make it nice and tidy, I love this stuff.
Yeah. I think we might be the only people who've ever done it. On YouTube.
You're trendsetters.
That's what it's all about. I should have done it when I redid mine, but it's a much smaller area, and I'm like really afraid, like getting like underneath my setup and my butt cracks.
Really afraid.
Yeah.
Horrified.
That will satisfy our female viewers, won't it? Or maybe even me. Oh.
I think that's why I never did it. Maybe if I ever redo it again, I'll do that. I'll set it up.
I thought you were done with that.
I'm done with it for a long time. I did just order that table though, so I can put another PVM in my setup.
You know, I think I need to pick up a PVM, another one. I think I need to get back in the game. I kind of miss having one.
Just you see one.
I could maybe even a 14-incher. Oh no, maybe an 18 or 19-incher. But I just can't justify spending that much money on a 20-year-old tube that will inevitably, in good time, die. It's just erroneous.
Well, I mean, we've gotten ours for like pretty good deal. I don't think I've never spent over $100 for one.
Really? I mean, I had to spend some good money on
the 0.05 for free. That one that we got.
Yeah, but I had to spend a couple hundred on my 20L5, but it was worth it.
Right. But I mean, the one we got in North Carolina, those were what, 80? I got my little. You know what? I take that back. I spent 150 on my 14-inch.
I knew it. I knew you did. I could feel it.
Yeah. But somebody's selling me a 14-inch BVM that does up to 1080i for $50. It's like, I can't say no to it.
Well, link me. Why don't you find me one of those deals, for goodness sakes?
Well,
How dare you? First of all, how dare you?
Well, if I find a good one,
You're hurting me here.
I'll let you know. But I got that 9-inch one. That one was $75. But that's more of a novelty.
It does look really cool though.
It does, and you never know. Like, it's portable. I can take it on vacation with me if I feel like it.
If you feel like it.
Because that's what I'd spend my vacation doing.
That's what I was about to say. Like, yes, that's the vacation that every man needs to take.
Yeah. What's that thing?
Huh? Oh, this is a PC engine. This is another PC engine. I was going to look at it while you guys are doing that. Or you guys are being champions.
Is that you gotta fix it?
Hold on a second. Life.
Okay.
So, what I like to do, I tell people this from time to time. I don't have the top. I don't know where the top is. It's not matter. It doesn't matter. I do a lot of things with the old PC engine, and a lot of times you'll see. Let me put this back in here. Okay, so I don't have the top of the case here, but let me put up my camera so you can see. So basically, this is the bottom shell, and this is the main board, right? And in this little hole right here, this is where the RF modulator, the RCA off the RF port, would come out right here. So what I like to do is, if I'm going to RGB mod one of these little jewels here, is I remove the RF modulator and the solder resist. There's copper. This is all ground flooded here. So I'll scrape away a good deal of the solder resist, and then what I'll do is, after I scrape this away, so I can make a good mechanical connection between a DIN connector with a nice metal casing around it, I will solder that to the board like so that the connector will essentially sit precisely where the RF module was, and when you put the top case on it, it almost looks factory. So I was getting ready to do that with this particular unit.
Do you still feel as passionate about doing mods as you did when you first started?
Well, you know, I've been doing this for many years, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. Let me think of the best way to answer this.
It's a young man's game.
Do I feel it's no? This is an old man. This is an old man's game. I tell you what. I'll tell you what. I feel like I still have a lot of like vigor for a lot of for some of the new stuff that I want to, some ideas that I have that I haven't quite brought to fruition yet, but I want to make happen. But the stuff that I've been doing for years, all the Nintendo stuff, the PC Engine stuff, the Sony stuff, it does get monotonous and it does get a little old, and you get kind of burned out from time to time.
So you try to push yourself as much as you can to stay interested. You think creating stuff, like you're trying to, like you challenge yourself.
Well, that's what I do. I'm kind of always in a competition with myself. And everybody should be. I think that's very healthy, to stay hungry in that regard, to improve your craft and your technique and your knowledge and your ability. But I'm always trying to do things better. So I'll stay up at night, laying in the bed, looking up at the ceiling, thinking of all these beautiful women, and then I'll have a beautiful idea that's not a woman come into my mind. And usually a product is born from that, or a new solution to something. And I'll tell you what, I'll be perfectly honest with you. A couple of years ago, you know, I'm a network engineer in real life. That's what I do. And I thought about putting all this to the side and just ceasing this, ending myself, not my life, but just ending my contributions to the world in the retro gaming spectrum. But all of these terrible modders and all of this good hard-earned money that is being sent to people to do these erroneous, craptastic jobs on their often nostalgic, loved baby kid home console that they got when they were 6 years old from Santa Claus is being mutilated, maimed, and raped by some guy on eBay. I can't stand for that. And so my mission in life is to educate people on how to be better in life, but also to God, I can't even articulate what I want to say because I'm so passionate about this, but to God, I don't even know how to finish this. I'm on a mission from God, Coury. I'm on a mission from God to stop this, to help people, to show them the better way with real engineering and real science and real critical thinking. It's time this happens because it's time that this does happen because I'm tired of people throwing away all this money on these really crappy mods that are done by people, and just on, just deplorable things. So I'm kind of tired of the mod work, but I'm awfully hungry and not tired of making sure that people, including myself, are held to a high standard, and there's a bar set so that what people do get and what people do spend their money on is of something of quality. Because I can't sit back and let people do shit and not do anything. I'm not saying I'm like the Lord Voultar of modding or anything like that, or I design these great little circuits or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just feel like I at least am in a position to call bullshit on people. I think I'm in a position where I can call bullshit on somebody if they try to swindle somebody, or if they do some really shitty or really crappy stuff. I feel like I'm in a position to be critical of that, and so that's what I'm hungry. That's what makes me hungry, or what I'm hungry for. So that at least keeps the modding stuff. That's what keeps that alive.
Interesting.
That's a 6-hour monologue you just heard.
No, it's great. I mean, it's great that like you have something to drive you like that.
It is, yeah, it is. That is absolutely what That's absolutely what propels me every day to continue doing this, is to help people. I just want to help people. That's really what it comes down to. I just want to help people make sure that they're getting exactly what they want and what they should get, and nothing less and nothing more. It's just over the past couple of years, these the things that you see on eBay and the things that you see being sold on forums and these YouTube videos and stuff. It's just say that again. I'm sorry.
Everyone's jumping in at this point.
Everybody's kind of jumped in, and it's very troubling. It's very troubling what you see being offered.
We were
And
smart
especially
enough.
the cost of.
We were smart enough to say we don't know how to do this.
And it's interesting that I get emails from people like who buy something that I designed to install, and they'll have trouble with it. And they'll initially want to blame the board or something like that, and I ask them just to test a few things. Let's just go through it. I'll help you fix it, and we'll get you going. And it's remarkable that the people that install these things, they'll respond saying, "I'm sorry, I don't own a multimeter, or I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that. What is power? What do you mean when you say check for ground?" And it's like, that just totally blows my mind. That's like it's like somebody, like if you worked for somebody, or if you knew somebody that was, I guess, a videographer or something like that, and they asked you, what do you mean zoom in on a zoom, like what does zooming mean? Like when I'm operating a camera, what does that mean? Can you show me how to do that? It's that erroneous.
Yeah.
It's like
basic knowledge.
Yeah, it's just very, the people, like 90% of the people who do any kind of mod work, in my opinion, and I think this is pretty well substantiated, lack even a conceptual elementary understanding of electronics. And these are the people you're paying $100, $150, $200 for to do these things. They don't even know anything about electronics. And it's just remarkable to me. And that's what kind of chaps my ass every morning. And so I get out there, I'm a cowboy, I'm a cheerleader, and God damn it, I'm the savior of the human race. I'm the people's champion.
Well, that's. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy you've been doing it for so long. Too, I mean,
people like you keep me young too. Honestly, you find young people like you.
I'm older. I'm the oldest one out of the three of us by a good margin. That's why I'm laying down right now.
And it's really two things. It's everything that I just said that's sort of the vehicle for me to continue doing this stuff, and it's also it really is the relationships that you foster with people, in the game, in the retro gaming, or even in the gaming scene and culture. It's those relationships that you foster really keep you kind of grounded and not wanting to go do something else because you like these people. I mean, I like everyone I talk to. Mm-hmm. And it's something that we have an interest in. It's something that we have in common. And it's, I don't know, I guess this is kind of just a part of me forever, all of this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've been doing it for so long. I mean, you can't just, leave it. You can't.
I can't leave it because I'm afraid. And again, it's not like I put myself on. I'm afraid that if I stopped touching these things, and if I walked away from it, just washed my hands and went away, I'm afraid what would happen. I don't even have that kind of influence over anyone or anything like that. I'm just afraid. It's kind of like one of those people that are just an absolute, they're absolute control freaks. Even though they have no control over anything, they feel like, at least if they're present, that they do have some control. I can't control what anybody does. So if I don't watch this stuff, and I'm not around to kind of somehow sort of pseudo-police it, I'm afraid that everything's just going to go to hell, and I worry about what, I just worry about things. I know that's really ridiculous to worry about that stuff, but I take this stuff really seriously, man. I mean, I take all of this stuff very seriously, especially when you hand somebody money to do something for you, and you do a very poor job, and you have no care or inclination to improve yourself, or you have no consideration to the fact that someone paid you this much money, and you did a really lousy job. That's going to piss me off every time, and that's just the way it is for me in life.
Troy, what is it?
God.
Switching.
Huh?
Sorry.
So passionate.
Say what?
What was that switching?
Switching?
It sounded like you're switching something on and off.
No.
Oh. What was the first thing you ever modded?
The first thing ever modded, I think, was a JVC VCR back in the late 90s that had digital video. It was the model that would do, it could output S video, but it didn't output S video. The components weren't there, so I added S video to that deck in order to output the S videos.
How long did it take you to do?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Were you at the time? You're like, how could this ever be easy?
You know, I had a pretty good understanding of electronics from a very young age. And oh my God, what was that? What was that overwhelming noise?
I kicked back a bit.
Oh man. What is this? Oh, but I don't remember how long that took me, but I don't know, man. I can.
You feel like you kind of like caught the bug right then and there, though, doing it?
No, because I was doing things like that. I mean, I was working with electronics and soldering electronics. Good Lord. I mean, repairing things. Probably when I was 7 or 8 years old. Okay. I can remember one of my earliest memories is actually sitting on my grandfather's lap, and we took apart a digital clock, and we went through the entire digital clock, and he showed me a lot of stuff, and he really kind of was the precursor to all the stuff that I did later in life. But at a very young age, I was always taking electronics apart and repairing things that were electronics that were broken, and fiddling and tiddling around. But the real mod stuff, probably when I really started doing modding stuff, like, you know, probably 2003, 2004 maybe. It's when I got into the whole you know, sort of gaming thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got all the SCARTs connected, though it's looking like I'm going to need another PlayStation SCART, since I now understand that you have to put, to do Sync on Green for PS2, you have to put in port 8. So I was using Component for one of the PS2s, but I'm going to go all SCART on now. So I'm going to need another. So the Japanese PS1 does not have a cable in it right now, but I've got all the other analog cables connected. Even the old Xbox over there is run all the way to the G-Comp with a extender.
The Xbox cable is actually pretty long. Well, no, the Xbox. Well, it's more centralized though than it was before, so things don't run as far.
Yeah, it's not quite as far, but it's almost as far.
Okay.
But I had to have an extender on either way. I put a shorter extension on it this time though. But I mean, overall the runs are much less spread apart now that I have, you know, the Sega stuff and the Nintendo stuff were pretty spread out before, so now the runs are much shorter. And I'll get a black cloth on the backside there again, and I might put a black cloth back there too, so you don't see some of the more unruly stuff. But I gotta do my HDMI stuff still.
So if you turned on anything, what would work right now?
Everything analog except the PS1. Pick something. It should work. The FrameMeister HDMI out is not plugged in, but I mean on the 20L5, anything should come on.
Turn on the PC Engine.
Oh, I already tested.
What in the world is this guy talking about?
I already tested the PC Engine, but so I already know
Yeah,
that.
we haven't seen it. Okay, then do the Sega CD.
Oh, hold on. Let's do the PC Engine. I haven't tested the Regent Switch. Voultar's reputation is on the line here.
I know, man. You better do it. I think American is away. I think U.S. cards or turbo chips. It's away from the console. Pretty sure.
Actually,
Either way.
to be fair, I have not tested this game yet, so so your reputation might not be on the line.
Oh, that's a good one. Waiting for it. Waiting for it.
You gotta turn that. Yeah, there you go.
There it
Put that
is.
up. Turn her to the right. That's the way.
There it is.
Looks pretty awesome.
Is-
I mean, it's not looking too good on camera because it's overexposed and it's not synced up right, but
Does it look pretty good there?
it looks awesome here. Look at all those shades of blue.
Yeah, man, I like
Look at that
that's like
green.
my most wanted piece or TurboGrafx game.
Well,
Like,
that's
I feel like if I have that, like I'm okay with like it's like the last game that I really, really want on the system.
well. I mean,
I mean, there's a lot that I want, but Dragon's Curse is like probably the most wanted game.
I mean that's one of the reasons I decided to go hue card only. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
It's like
the
50
hue cards
stuff.
look so much cooler. Like on there, whoa! There's like I know you can't see it on the camera, but there's like a lot of shades of green in the grass, and it looks really awesome.
That's a really good game too to test gel bar stuff. Especially if you have a digital processor like the FrameMeister, but like in those deep blue skies and and other areas where there's just a ni's solid background color.
The title screen has like a bunch of shades of has this like gradient blue, so you could probably see a lot. There's some water right here that's really deep blue. I don't
It's
see.
kinda-
I certainly don't see any jail bars on the PVM, but I'll play around with it on the FrameMeister later. But I just don't have my HDMI stuff hooked up right now. But I'll get there.
I still got to get the remake of this. I have no idea why I haven't gotten it. I just wanted to finish this Night Trap deal before I got it. And now I still haven't gotten it, even though I'm like 99.9% wrapped on it anyways.
Well, but
Do
we
do
can
a,
move
do
on
a
to.
CD game.
Say what?
I like CD game.
Do a CD game.
Oh, okay.
How much-
You even
Well-
have any CD games?
No, I don't have one.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
You have a
sorry.
burn of Rondo, right?
I forget where. Well, maybe I know where I put it.
You know, that's interesting that you mentioned that. I downloaded a copy of Rondo, and
Is
it's
it-
Rondo.
Or it's subtitled, right?
It's subtitled, but also the voiceover in the prologue. It's different.
Yeah. I mean, there's a fan translation, but I think that the voiceover is in like German or something like that.
It is because it is in the original too.
Oh, I always thought okay.
I
I
thought
have
it
no
was.
idea why they redo the voiceover then.
Well, like you know,
Did that with Ease 4, like they did a complete fan translation, but they also got like voice acting.
but you know what I couldn't understand when I played it, and like when you fight Death on the carriage, Death speaks in English. Like
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. I'm like, well, why is the intro in German or whatever, but the voices in the game, like Death, he's talking like in English. Yeah, I don't know, but it was really cool. It was really cool.
Where's the? I already forget how to open this thing up.
You just flip. You just lift it up.
It
You just
feels. It
there you
feels
go.
like I shouldn't.
But you should. You should do it. It just lifts up. That's it. That's it. You won't hurt it. You won't hurt a thing in life.
Oh, I gotta flip the switch.
Yep.
You just leave the switch on?
You can leave the switch on the PC Engine all the time.
Well,
You don't-
I meant the region switch. Oh, I don't have my.
Oh no, you don't have any problem with that.
I don't have a controller plugged in.
You have no idea where it is either.
I have an idea, but I'm tired.
It's alright. It's alright. Well, there it is anyways.
Yeah. That's it. That's I mean, just for the sake of testing more than one thing.
Are you gonna try now? I don't even know what games you have.
Oh, you know what? I didn't plug the discs up. Whoops.
Huh. There it is.
Wonderful. Excellent.
That's
Excellent.
console
Excellent.
of all time.
That is what I like to see.
I guess the real test. See if the Dreamcast is yellow. Oh, it's dark.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, it might be that.
Yeah. You know what?
I just write to him and tell him like what the deal is. I mean, I just had to. I sent him a couple of photos I took off my phone because my 480p stopped working, but it only worked in 480i. And he just sent me a dongle, and it swapping that out fixed it.
Huh. Let me jiggle it a little bit. It's way off center, actually.
Well, 480p is always off center.
Yeah, but it's like super far off center. More. Oh, you know what? I bet I know why. I think it's because I probably, from doing the Switchers episode, I probably have the sync stripper turned on the first G-SCART. Let me see. Let's see in here. Of course, the switches have to be on the other side.
Beef in the chat wants to know what the shelves the PS1 with the PlayStation systems are called.
Hold on one second.
Where'd you get them?
Let's see, which way is on, which way is off. Yeah, I want to turn that off. That should fix. Let's see what that does for the. Okay, yeah, the Dreamcast looks better now.
Is the picture still dark though?
Ah.
I mean, it's dark. Like 40p stuff, like
40p is a little darker. Yeah, like I always have to like raise the brightness a lot.
On the component side of that, on your monitor,
Yeah.
is there a switch for 75 ohm terminations and other terminations?
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe it's being pulled down to like 150 ohms or something.
I mean,
I don't think there's any switches like externally.
So
Might be-
you're using those 75 ohm BNC terminators though, right?
not right now. It's fine as long as if you plug a cable in the other end, but then don't plug that cable into something else, then it'll look too bright. But I'm going to connect something to the output. I'm just I have to get the cables from Coury.
Oh, okay.
The risers that the PlayStation systems are on, those the brand name is, I think it's called FitUIs. Like FITUEYES, and I got them on Amazon, and I was looking for a very particular size. They're just a monitor stand, a monitor riser. I was looking for a very particular size because I needed to make sure that the PS4 Pro would fit next to a PS3 Slim, and they do fit. It actually, the PS4 Pro actually runs off the edge a little bit, but it's fine because the rubber feet
It
are.
bothered me if I did that.
No, it doesn't bother me because the rubber.
On the front or the back or on the sides?
Not the sides.
Okay, the sides are fine. But
The rubber feet are still on the thing, so it doesn't bother me that it hangs over a little bit.
right.
So, I forgot. I think you told me for your HDMI stuff. You have. I think you have the same HDMI switcher that I do, right? That monoprice 8-to-1.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's sitting over there. And I got another HDMI switcher that I have not tested yet, and I set it down somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is right now.
Does that thing ever give you trouble where it drops out every now and again? Does it ever do that to you?
No, but it might be the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, doing it.
Do you hear me tell Joe about that earlier?
You think so? Because I've been having that problem a lot.
It hasn't done it to me, but
Is it an automatic switcher?
no, it's semi-automatic. Like it will only switch to a source that is detectable.
Okay. You know what I wondered?
Never
I'm
mind.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Corey. I'm sorry.
Well, the Switch has like an issue with the firmware that when it charges up to 100%, it will stop charging, and then it'll wait till the battery gets down to like 98% or something like that, and then it will start charging it again. And right before it starts charging it again, the system switches on for about like a split second, and that makes automatic switchers automatically switch over to it.
I'll tell you what, you just made me think of something. I didn't think of this until you guys started talking about the Switch. I noticed that the monoprice switchers started to have the problems became progressively worse once I changed the range, the output mode from limited to full range RGB on the HDMI output. And I noticed once I'd done that it really started to kind of fail and drop out like all the time. So there might be something there to that, actually.
It's possible.
Oh, here's the second HDMI switcher I got. Here, I haven't tested it yet though, but supposedly it does 4K at 60 hertz, so I kind of got to be future-proofed.
You know what's kind of cool about that monoprice switch? It only does. Oh, that's nice, and that's a 5-in-1. Oh man, I might have to pick one of those up.
I forget what the brand name is. There's nothing really written on it.
Did you pay a lot for that, or?
No, it wasn't a lot. Let me check the old Amazon.
I got a couple of the Blackbird switchers. I have two of them. One that splits the output 4 ways.
This one says Expert Connect. Let's see. Right now it says $42.98, but I think I spent less. Let me see. Oh, it wasn't as cheap as I thought. I spent $49.98. So it was not super cheap, but it's actually a little bit cheaper now. It's $42.98. But like I say, I have not tested it yet. But I intend to get it connected up fairly soon. The whole full range, limited range thing is part of, like, I want you. I know it sounds so silly, but I want to use one HDMI switcher for full range systems and another for limited range systems. Because the settings on my TV are different for each one.
I see.
And I was out of space anyway on the monoprice. The monoprice is fine, but I really hate the blinking thing it does.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking about going in there and just snipping all those red LEDs out, or putting a limiting, just put a larger, just a limiting resistor on each of them, just so they're really, really, really dim.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're doing it. You're doing good.
You up for some more tomorrow night, Trey?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but here, I'll make it so. Look, there's me. We didn't really talk about it, but we don't know when the Night Trap episode can release.
Right. You want to explain or you want me to?
Why don't you explain?
Well, we're kind of at the when the game has a release date, then we'll be able to probably put it out then, because the guy who's making it has a agreement with Sony that they have to run a blog on it to reveal a lot of the new features in it. And once that happens, then we can release the video, because we talk about some of the new features in it, and we don't have the authority to be the people that make that public. So we don't know what's happening. So we're kind of in a rush right now to kind of get something together next week.
Right. So it's possible that the Night Trap episode will not be the next episode.
Yeah, it's going to be sitting on our YouTube channel private.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So what we're both going to try to work on some stuff that'll probably just take a few days to make. So there'll be shorter, lighter weight episodes. So
hopefully people know.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk about that. But
say what?
Hopefully, Nick is cracking me up. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be shorter episodes, and I think that hopefully they're not going to be like super heavy, because we're going to be turning around so quick.
Yeah. So we're just going to see what we can make, and it may or may not release before Night Trap.
Yep, it is what it is. I mean, it's done. I cannot wait to show people.
Well, you're still waiting for footage from a new build.
Boy, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for people to see it. I think it's the best thing I've ever done. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's going to be good to get that out there.
So how long do you think? I mean, a year, 6 months, 2 weeks, a week?
I'm hoping like it'll be out in May for sure.
Okay. Well, that's not bad at all.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And I mean, we were expecting it like this week at the latest. But I mean, we're at the mercy of previous agreements, which is fine. I mean, it helps get it a lot more publicity.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm trying to get my setup. You know, part of the reason behind all this setup stuff is because I'd had my setup in disarray from the Switchers episode, and I'd been planning to redo my setup anyway, so I didn't want to put things back together the way they were. I wanted to go ahead and set things up, and so
yep.
That's what this is all about. So I didn't want to start working on another episode without having things connected the way they should be. So that's what this is about. So
yes,
I'll start.
That's right.
I'll start capturing some footage in a day or two for what I'm hoping to work on, and I don't think it's going to take long.
I'm doing the same, but you know, it's just I've been sick.
Well, I've been wearing myself out doing all this stuff. Like
an episode.
I slept just so hard last night. Like when my alarm went off this morning, I like literally couldn't believe it. Like it was just like a feeling of just like solid sleeping that like I don't have often, just because I was working on this crap all day yesterday.
You've done a lot of work in the few hours in the 7 hours that we've been on. Just kidding. It looks good,
though. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good stream length.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite long. I think you guys typically aren't up this long, are you? I know the one with Captures was long.
I'm getting better. Hopefully, I didn't just screw it up by staying up too late.
All right. Well, good night, everyone. I guess.
Or we'll see everybody on Sunday. Did I say Tuesday? I don't know.
I said Tuesday. I think you did.
Why did I say Tuesday? I don't know. We'll see on Sunday. I don't know what we're playing yet.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody.